Only request up if you are a Trump supporter. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters. I am looking for Trump supporters to get in the box. I need Trump supporters to get in the box because I learned that Donald Trump is the best deal-making president of our lifetime. And I have questions. Snowflake, are you a Trump supporter?
Of course I am.
Wonderful, wonderful, awesome. I am so happy that you're here, my friend. Hold on one second, okay? Let's see here. We got one other person loading in right now. Frederick, are you a Trump supporter?
I'm a patriot.
Okay, but did you vote for Donald Trump?
What would you think a patriot? Who would you think a patriot will vote for, man?
Yes or no?
Of course I did.
Okay, perfect. All right, wonderful. Hey, Snowflake, Frederick, quick question for you both. Do you know who I am?
Well, I'm not on this app that much, but when I'm doing my little scrolls or whatnot, you know, I see a couple of folks doing what you're doing, so I guess nothing unexpected.
Okay, but you specifically, you don't know who I am.
Not really.
Perfect. Snowflake, do you know who I am?
I'm kind of confused by that question. Am I looking at? Are you? Let me ask you. Are you a celebrity?
I'm not. I'm just wondering if you ever have ever come across me before. Frederick, I'm gonna drop you down because I don't believe that you're actually up here in genuine. Snowflake, I don't think Frederick was actually up here in I don't think he was being genuine. I think he was being a troll. Let's see. Bilbo, are you a Trump supporter?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Bilbo, do you know who I am?
Santana Jones.
Okay, yeah, that's actually correct. Listen, let me do this for you and for Snowflake. Let me give both of you actually an introduction to who I am and what this is.
Seriously,
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
I know what to introduce myself like this. Multiple lives.
Let's get ready to rumble!
I'm gone.
All right, guys, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters. If you are a Trump supporter, get in the box. If you are a Trump supporter, then obviously Snowflake had the right name. He was definitely a snowflake. He couldn't even wait for the actual introduction. That is wild. That was an insane crash out. Anyway, tap the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up, guys. Let's get the likes up to 50,000 likes. Let's get the shares up to 100 shares. And guys, also, if you could, I'm going to keep resetting this daily gift goal. I'm going to reset them as these 1 cent goals. If we can continue to knock these gift goals out, it will help push us out to the FYP. Guys, this is Sparring with Santana. I am only looking for Trump supporters. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter. This is not Late Nights with Santana. I am not looking for any friendlies. With that being said, we have my friend Bilbo up here. Bilbo, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Wonderful. Bilbo, I just learned like some very exciting news. I learned that Donald Trump is the best deal-making president of our time. Did you know that?
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, he saved America.
Oh, yeah. Cool. So, Bilbo, I need your help. I need you to tell me which deal is Donald Trump's best deal. Was it when he actually traded Medicaid for billionaire welfare? Or was it when he traded Ukraine for Russian loyalty? Or maybe it's when he traded the economy for tariffs, or U.S. pride for his ego. But we also can't forget that he definitely traded the Oval Office for $290 million. So which one do you think was his best deal?
Well, of these options, the Ukraine for Russia was his best deal. Really genius, actually.
Okay, so you think it's a good thing to actually allow Russia to gain more power and actually betray our allies? Wow. Okay, yeah, so why do you think that?
Yeah, so do you realize that if we allied with Russia, we could actually just take over the whole world if we wanted to? No one.
Oh, so you wait. So you hey Crockett, thank you so much for the galaxy. That's so awesome. So you are a wannabe dictator. Like, so that's what it is. You're interested in world domination.
Well, we need to be in the most powerful position we can be to dominate the world if we want to. That's strength for America, the pro-America choice.
That's wow. That's a wild statement. Well, so first and foremost is so are you saying currently that the United States is not the most powerful country on the planet? Is that what you're saying?
Well, it is, but we could be taken over if China and Russia allied together because they're number 2 and 3 in military strength. So we need to pick one of those to become an ally and then take out the other one, and then no one can stop us.
So you're saying the fact that we already have multiple democratic allies around the world is not enough. We need to actually align ourselves with the different dictators and the different fascists around the world, and then somehow that's going to make America great.
Well, here's the best part about it is that we can ally with Russia without NATO getting mad. And Russia asked us for a new allyship, and Italy has already agreed. So us, Russia, and Italy, I mean, that pounces NATO. There's nothing left of NATO.
Wow, I have never. That is absolutely bonkers. So tell me, what do you love about Russia? Is it the fact that the dictator is literally so cruel to his people and actually unalives multiple people whenever they actually oppose him? Are you good with the actual Russian disinformation that they're infiltrating with our country? Like, what makes you so hot for Putin?
Yeah, what I like about Russia is that being friends with them would put us in the most powerful position. So that's the America first thing to do.
Again,
we don't need to copy the government.
You keep saying that. That's weird because, again, by you saying that it puts us in the most powerful position, that means that you're admitting that the United States of America is not the most powerful country on the world, even though they have the largest military, the most influence, and prior to Donald Trump, they were the most respected country on the planet.
No. We are the most powerful country. We are the most powerful country. But of the options we can take forward, going with Russia would make us even more powerful than some other options.
So allying with Russia is more is going to be more beneficial than fortifying our relationships with our current allies, or even strengthening relationships, at least that we have with our neighbors to the north and south. You're like you just said, screw everybody else, screw the EU, screw Canada, screw Mexico, screw every other country around the world. Let's go and actually align ourselves with the country that the rest of the world is actually actively fighting against, and this country is actively hurting because their inflation is up, their people are mad, their military is being depleted. You're good with all of that.
Well, again, I'd like to remind you, NATO can't get rid of us, and Italy is already ready to join an alliance with us and Russia. And this new alliance doesn't require us to go to war just because one of the countries goes to war. So it's also better for us and our independence. Really better in every way, really genius. And Russia offered us 10 times the minerals of the Ukraine. So
yeah,
good deal.
So your thing is it's okay for us to align ourselves with a dictatorship because you think that it's more beneficial to be aligned with them than to actually, I don't even want to say live on the right side of history, but damn democracy. Because you do understand that aligning ourselves with Russia means allowing Russia to actually continue to take over parts of Europe, because you're saying, oh, this new quote unquote proposed partnership doesn't require us to go to war. But if Russia's an ally, then that means while they're trying to take over other countries within Europe, then we're not going to actually stop them. So you're good with that.
Yeah, well, I'm not worried about Russia taking over the Ukraine because we need to focus our resources towards taking Canada.
I'm not talking about
and some other territories.
What?
Yeah. See, the problem is we've had these liberals in charge for so long that people have forgotten that probably the tertiary objective of a country.
Hold on. So you just want to become a colonizer. You're just leaning into the colonization. That's what you're doing.
Are you against the founding of this country?
I'm against colonization. I'm against
so you're
trying
against
to take other people's sovereign land. That's wild. That's the most insane thing. Hey, so how long have you been a Russian sympathizer, or are you? Can I ask you a serious question?
Mm-hmm.
Are you a paid Russian actor?
No, I'm an American. This is the pro-America choice.
I don't believe you. There's no way.
Well, I've proven it. You haven't been able to debunk it. You're just whining about.
What am I? Wait. What am I debunking?
You have not debunked that this is the most powerful thing to do. You're just whining about.
No. I first and foremost, I mean, no, that's not the most powerful thing to do. And okay, cool. I got a couple of questions for you. So you said Russia is already proposed us to join an allyship with them. Where can I find this information?
On YouTube, Google it.
No, and not on YouTube. Give me
That's
a site, a source that I can pull up.
I saw it in a video. I don't remember where.
Yeah, but you do know that anyone can post a video on YouTube. I'm on YouTube. As a matter of fact, guys, what up, YouTube? What up, Twitch? I am actually streaming right now on Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. So if you're watching over on YouTube, make sure you like the stream. Also, guys, we have super chats over on YouTube. So if you want to support, you can support with a super chat and I will read that message out. So yeah, anybody can post anything on YouTube. That's not a source.
But you know, you can see videos.
That's not a source. Can you actually give me a verifiable source
that I can actually counter source?
Can you
just Google it? It's not my fault you haven't Googled this. It's a fact.
No, you're wait. You came up here and made a claim that Russia has already, quote unquote, offered us a allyship, and Italy, quote unquote, has already said they're in. Cool. Where can I find substantial information verifying this? This is your claim, so you have to actually
go on YouTube. Type this claim. And
YouTube is not an actual source.
Okay, what's your counter source? Do you have
the counter source? Is
not true.
Okay,
no, you don't.
Again,
so
there's no wait. No. I don't have to offer. I didn't make the insane claim. So you get to go. Okay, cool. Bilbo, right? Bilbo. My claim is you're a Russian asset. Period.
Well,
that's my claim. No. That's my claim. You're a Russian asset. Now you need to prove me wrong.
I will prove you wrong.
Okay, now turn on your camera and put your birth certificate and your driver's license on the screen so we know that you're not actually a Russian actor.
I'm good on that, but this is just the logical conclusion, right?
No, it's not. That's absolutely insane. If you can't actually provide a source, then your claim is absolutely nuts.
I told you can Google it, but if you don't want to,
no. Okay, you know what? No,
and talk about the logical conclusion.
No, because okay, cool. Okay. This is what we're gonna do.
The logical.
No. Stop talking for a second. No. Stop talking for a second. I'm gonna go ahead and try to see if I can quote unquote find your claim.
No,
No. Stop. You told me to look it up. You told me. I don't give a damn what you're saying. Stop talking. You told me to go look up your source. I'm gonna go. Hey, mods, can we sit on his? Can we sit on his mute while I actually look up the source?
All right, you lost.
There we go. We're gonna sit on your mute because you made a wild claim, and I'm actually gonna look up your wild claim.
Muted. I'm out muted.
Mods, okay, you're running because you're lying. That's perfect. Guys, go ahead and request up if you are a Trump supporter. That is the most insane thing. You lose if you mute. Stop it. So let's look this up. If you are a Trump supporter, get in the box. If you are someone that supports Donald Trump, get in the box. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters. Also, welcome in Parker Raid. If you just got here, guys, keep tapping the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 50,000 likes. Let's get the shares up as well. Also, guys, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. If you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. Guys, I am only talking to Trump supporters. Do not request up. If you are not a Trump supporter, this is not Late Nights with Santana. I am not talking to any friendlies. Do not request up if you are not a Trump supporter. Unfounded, are you a Trump supporter? Or unfolded, I'm sorry.
What was that?
Unfolded laundry. Unfolded, are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect. Give me 1 second here. All right.
I mean, while we got a little silence on the air, nobody likes silence on the air, so let's.
Oh no, you're right. Hold on.
Yeah, no, that's fine. The last guy, he didn't
okay.
run. He was kicked.
He wasn't kicked. He absolutely ran.
He definitely didn't run.
He absolutely ran.
He 100% didn't run.
Oh, I don't give a damn what you say.
Okay, I assure you he didn't run. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I was kept getting muted.
All right, guys. So I'm looking at this information. I'm trying to find here any type of quote unquote deal that was offered by Russia to ally with the United States. And surprise, surprise, there's no deal. There's nothing here that actually substantiates that. So.
All All right.
With that being said, let's go ahead and move forward. We have unfolded laundry up here. We have unfolded laundry. I'm about to go ahead and fold them up. Hey, unfolded laundry.
Yes, sir.
We understand that Donald Trump is the best deal-making president. Hey, I'm still speaking. Wait, hold on. You hear me speaking, right? What? Like when the host talks, you don't talk. What is happening? Where is your home training? Ooh. All right. Is it cerebellum? How do you say your username, friend?
How are we doing this already? Are you just
cerebellum?
Is this what you do? You just mute people?
No. Well, I mean, you for some reason you were speaking while I was speaking.
And then you kick them, and
so,
then you
again. Cerebellum, are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So I have a question for both of you. We have, and is that how you say your username, cerebellum, or
whatever you want to say? I don't know how it changed, to be honest with you.
I'm sorry, say it again.
I don't know how my username got changed. I think somebody tried to hack my account. I stopped it.
Oh, that's a while. Okay. Well, what would you prefer me to call you, friend?
You can call me Scooter.
Scooter. All right, Scooter. Perfect. Scooter. Unfolded laundry. Question for both of you. We can both agree. Well, first, I think we can both agree that Donald Trump is the best deal-making president of our time, right?
Sure.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that, but sure, whatever.
I think he's awesome. He's made a bunch of amazing deals, right? He's already traded Medicaid for billionaire welfare. He's traded Ukraine for Russian loyalty. We know for a fact that he's traded the economy for tariffs. He's traded U.S. pride for his ego. And he's also traded the Oval Office for $290 million. So I guess my question is, which one do you guys think is his best deal?
Well, I have my own private health insurance, so that's not really affecting me. And I own my own company.
Okay.
So what has he really done to me? That
No. I'm not saying that, friend. I'm just asking, which one do you think is the best deal that he's made?
I have an answer to that.
Okay, go right ahead. Unfold it.
Are you man enough to tell your moderators to stop muting people and let you actually have a conversation without being muted?
Are you man enough to have self-control and not to talk over other people while other people are talking?
I haven't talked over you.
You've literally been talking over me the entire time. That's why you keep getting muted. Anyway, you said you have an answer, so the floor is yours.
I mean, that's my question to you.
You said you have an answer. The floor is yours.
Are you man enough to?
You said you have an answer. The floor is yours.
So you're not man enough.
You said you have an answer. The floor is yours.
I mean, I'm guessing that you're the type of guy who's going to kick people. You got to have your.
You said you have an answer. The floor is yours. Do you want to actually monologue, or do you want to actually answer the question?
All you can do is mute people and kick people.
Okay. Again, do you want to answer? The floor is yours. I'm literally giving you the floor to speak.
Yeah, I'm happy to have a conversation. What's your question?
Okay. Then you said you have an answer. Answer the question.
What was your question?
Which deal is Donald Trump's best deal?
Your question was based off of fallacy. So you asked me a question based off of a complete lie. So immediately, you're not to be trusted, right? You can't be trusted.
Medicaid yet? No.
You asked a question. You asked a question like, "Oh, can Donald Trump be trusted?" Da, 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 da.
I didn't say anything about him being trusted. I said, "What's his best deal?"
No, that's not what you said. You literally.
I said, okay, if you weren't okay, how about you stop talking for a moment and listen? You can't. Thank you for the bow. You can't hear me if you're talking at the same time as me. So sit back for a second and listen. So again,
really cut anything yet.
Well, no, you were trying to answer, but he said that he had an answer. I don't care which one answers. I'm just saying, like, someone answer.
You can't cut anything.
I know that you feel very hyped up by having so many people in here who follow you.
It is so weird that you're talking over the other. It's so weird. Hey, listen, there's another guest on the panel right above you, and he was actually speaking. That's the self-control issue. Again, there's another guest right above you. He was speaking. Go ahead, Scooter.
Well, he can't really cut anything yet. He can't do everything himself like he thinks he can. He wants to cut Medicaid and Medicare. He hasn't yet. So at the end of the day, but what he has done that I like, that he cleared up these bathroom policy issues. I know that's not what you call it, where it's just a man and a woman's bathroom. He had he's trying to give school back to the state. because when I was growing up in the 80s, that's how it was, and I think we was better off.
Mm-hmm.
He found money that was distributed to different departments that wasn't even there.
Okay, so your premise is that you don't think that Donald Trump.
I mean, why would I want to fund?
Okay, well, hold on. Let me recap and make sure I understand what you're saying, my friend. So, Scooter, you said that you don't think that he's done well. Again, I said which deals. Yeah, you're absolutely right. The actual cuts are still coming. They still have the budget cuts have to pass the Senate, which they've already passed the House. But you said that you like the fact that he is transphobic. You like the fact that he is quote unquote finding funds that aren't distributed in the right way. And you said there was one other thing that he did that you like. I missed the third thing.
It's my tax money. Why should I be supporting stuff in other countries that we kind of need here? Why can't we get that stuff here?
Okay, cool. So can you tell me one thing that they're actually doing with your tax money that they're not sending to other countries? Like, tell me what social safety net the Republican Party is actually investing in that they could have, or that they're saying that, oh, we're going to cut this money and we're going to invest it in said thing in America. What's that social safety net?
Well, that stopped India from learning about LGBTQ.
No. I'm not talking about that, my friend. I'm saying you're saying that they're taking all the waste and fraud and they're saving the money. But I'm saying, can you tell me what they're actually going to dedicate that money to? That actual tax fund.
He was answering your question. And
you are whining like you are really whining this evening. Did you take a nap today? Like, why are you whining so much? I was literally having a genuine conversation with Scooter. He and I were going back and forth, and I just wanted clarification. Scooter has the floor. Stop talking. Anyway, Scooter, can you remind me what that third point was, please?
I'm really trying to give you clarification on it.
Sure, go ahead. I just couldn't remember the third point.
I mean, at the end of the day, he's not stopping DEI in the U.S. That's your companies that's doing it. He's stopping DEI from happening in other countries that shouldn't be funded. He's stopping 100 to 130-year-old people, or 200 to 200.
None of this is true.
Collected. So
none of this is true.
That's not how you
None
know
of this is true.
Are you telling me the fact that it's not?
Yeah, no, it's absolutely not true.
So as you basing it off your feelings?
No. I'm not. I'm actually basing it off facts. So
Okay,
cool. The actual payments for the Social Security. Yeah, I am.
Show me your source.
I am. Okay, cool. What's your source? What's your source?
CNN.com.
Okay, what's
your source?
Oh, first of all, CNN.com. I wouldn't even use that, but perfect. Tell me where the CNN.com source is that people are 100-something years old getting.
He was trying to answer your question.
Okay, hold on for a second. This is what we're gonna do. Because hold on one second. This is what we're gonna do because I definitely feel like Scooter, you and I we're getting somewhere, but this, you know what, had nothing to add. Couldn't even stay on mute for a minute. So, Scooter, you said CNN. Wait, hold on, because you have my interest now. You said CNN is your source.
Because you cannot show me a source that is not true.
Well, I was going to pull up the source, but I need you to actually tell me what the CNN article is.
But you trying to rebuttal it.
Oh, I'm going to show you mine. Don't worry, my friend. I have sources, but I need to see the claim. You claim that you have a CNN source.
Everybody's saying it on CNN TV.
No, who? Where? I didn't see it. Show me. Tell me where it is.
I mean, you tell me your source and I'll tell you mine. Matter of fact, I just told you. So now it's your turn.
No, saying CNN is not a source. That's not a source.
It's a worldwide news network. You can get it on the internet. You can get it on TV. Why it's not a source? Why isn't it?
Do you know how to source anything, friend? So I'm gonna give you a specific wait. So I'm gonna give you a specific example of how you find a source. All right. So I was having a conversation with someone earlier, and I was telling them about the inflation rate, right? And I was telling them how inflation is actually going back up under Donald Trump. And so no, I'm giving you an example because I don't think you know what a source is. So just chill for a second, Scooter. Why are we crashing out? Scooter, slow down. Okay, slow down.
When you can't say anything else. You guys love doing that when you can't say anything else.
Scooter, it's okay, my friend.
I just want you to tell me a source where it's
No,
live.
you said that you had a source and it's CNN. I said that's not showing a source. So this is an example of a source.
CNN, you can look stuff up like that on CNN. That's what you
Yes,
told me?
you absolutely can, but that's not the source.
Thank you.
That's
So
not
you-
CNN. That's
give me-
not the source.
Okay, so
Okay,
me-
so
give
this
me
is. I'm gonna go ahead and say what I was gonna say. So I was talking to a friend earlier, and we were talking about the inflation rate, and I was explaining to him how inflation is actually going back up under Donald Trump, and he said, "No, it's not." And I said, "Yeah, it absolutely is. You can actually find this information." He was like, "Cool, show me your source." I said, "All right. If you go to usinflationcalculator.com, it actually tracks the actual inflation rate, and it gives you the data behind where you can actually find it. And if you go to US inflation, if you go to usinflation.com /inflation.current.inflation dash rates, you can find that information. So that was me citing my source. So now Scooter,
that website.
Scooter, again, I'm just giving you an example of how you find a source.
And I'm supposed to listen to you. I'm done. Go on to somebody else.
Okay, run, Scooter, run.
Bye
Bye. Go ahead and run, guys. We're gonna go ahead and get some running and some baby bottles in the chat. I don't know what's going on. They're crashing out so fast. Scooter came up here, immediately crashed out, has been whining, crying. It is weird. What is happening with MAGA tonight? Why are you guys so triggered? That is absolutely weird. They're getting weird tonight, guys. Chat. They're getting weird. It's insane. I'm just trying to have a conversation, my friend.
I'm trying to mute me because you.
Okay. So, Scooter, let's reset. Seriously, I'm dead serious. Let's reset. All BS aside, let's reset.
I just want to
know.
Fair?
Is that okay if we reset?
I just want to know how your site is better than CNN. Who owns your site?
No, I'm not telling you my site is better than CNN. I'm telling you, saying CNN is not a source.
Your site isn't either. Some Joe Blow on that site.
My friend, I'm not telling you.
Never told me who owns the site yet.
Scooter, I don't think you understand what I'm saying. Can you just stop for a second and please just listen to me? Please, seriously.
Why?
Just because you don't understand.
How uneducated you is on this, and I should listen to you.
It's not you is, it's you are. What I'm trying to explain to you is to cite a source means to give a specific article that I can actually view, not a general website. Because if I just go to CNN, I'm not going to see what you're actually saying.
Tell you who owns CNN, but you
I don't care about who owns CNN. I just want to know the name of the article that you're talking about. That's it.
Supposed to believe any Joe Blow that you read?
I just want to know the name of the article.
Work like that, buddy. And if that's what you do, then I'm.
This is stupid. This is absolutely insane.
That's what you do. You want to believe every Joe Blow you read off the internet?
This is absolutely insane.
Dude,
what's happening up here tonight? Clayton.
You can take me off.
Still loading.
You can go to.
No, I'm gonna keep you up here, and you can figure out how to run on your own. Clayton, are you a Trump supporter?
Oh, no, I didn't mean to join.
What about the internet?
Okay, no worries, my friend. I'm gonna go ahead and drop you down. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm watching Scooter.
I don't know what's happening tonight.
Are you sad? You need to.
I don't know what's happening tonight. I have no idea what's happening tonight, guys. Guys, W's in the chat for Gene. Gene sent a $1 donation saying Unfolded was a crybaby. Yeah, he was. It was absolutely insane. W's in the chat for Sharon, who sent a $25 donation saying, I really enjoy your lives. I don't understand why MAGA supports him. I have stressed every single day since he's been elected. Listen, it's been insane every single day since Donald Trump has been in office. W's in the chat for Peyton. Peyton sent a $5 donation saying, I'm taking you up on a Sparring with Santana invite. Listen, not tonight, Peyton. Not tonight. Another night. You are definitely more than welcome, but definitely not tonight. Guys, tap the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 150,000 likes. Let's get the shares up. Let's get the shares up to 200 shares, guys. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. All the pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24. It's the best way to support live. If you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. Guys, I'm just trying to get out of the box with one person, just one person. I have no idea what's happening. I just want to talk to one person. King, how are you this evening, my friend?
I'm quite good. Quite good.
Good. King, are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah, I think that sometimes I'm a Trump supporter.
Did you vote for him?
No, I didn't vote for Donald Trump.
Who'd you vote for?
Well, I voted for VP Harris.
Ooh, okay, we're gonna go ahead and get you up out the paint. I appreciate you, my friend. That's wild for you to actually take that stance. Guys, only request up if you are a Trump supporter, someone that actually voted for Donald Trump, and you actually want to, not crash out as soon as you get up here. It's weird. I'm just trying to get someone on the panel. It's weird. Andre, how are you this evening, my friend?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Wonderful. Andre, are you a Trump supporter?
No. There are some things that he does, but
Okay, did you vote for him?
Of course not. No.
Okay. Again, guys, only request up if you are a Trump supporter and you voted for him. You guys, this is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters. We are only looking for Trump supporters. Please do not request up if you are not a Trump supporter. Whitlow, is that how you say your username?
Yeah, that's right.
Whitlow, are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah, I also wanted to address something that
Whitlow, are you a Trump supporter?
Yes.
Okay, you are. Cool. Whitlow, how old are you?
27.
What year were you born?
97.
Okay, cool. Whitlow, got a question for you, my friend.
Yeah.
Well, first and foremost, a statement, I guess. We both can agree that Donald Trump is one of the best deal-making presidents of our time, right?
You said deal making?
Yeah, he can make deals.
Okay, yeah.
Cool. So with that being said, what do you think was his best deal that he's made so far? Is it when he traded Medicaid for billionaire welfare? Or is it when he traded Ukraine for Russian loyalty? We also know that he made a deal where he traded the economy for tariffs, U.S. pride for his ego, and the Oval Office for $290 million. So which one do you think was his best deal?
Can I say, I'll say tariffs, but can I just address something that you said on a live a couple days ago?
Not really. I don't know.
It's about do you remember having a conversation with that one person about Black American and Kamala Harris, whether or not she's Black American?
Sure. No, I mean, thank you for the cake. I've had the whole conversation about Kamala Harris being Black a lot. Sure. Go right ahead.
Okay. I just want to be honest. I'm not a Trump supporter. I voted for Kamala Harris, but I do want to
cool.
address that.
No, I refuse. Guys, please respect my boundaries. I absolutely refuse. I am only talking to Trump supporters. I have no interest. Guys, this is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters. If you are a friendly or anything along those lines, come back during late nights. We are only talking to Trump supporters. Please respect my boundaries. We are only talking to Trump supporters. Do not request up if you are not a Trump supporter. Is it peace? I can't. What is it? Peace, God?
Yep.
Can I call you Peace? Is that okay?
Peace is fine.
Peace, are you a Trump supporter?
I am.
Perfect. We also have Tom Foolery. Tom, how are you this evening?
Good.
Tom?
Lulu?
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and drop you down. Peace. All right. I'm assuming that you heard the last question that I asked the other guy, right?
Yep.
Perfect. Which deal do you think is Donald Trump's best deal?
So I don't think it's on here. I would start out saying the First Step Act, which essentially reversed the 94 crime bill. Letting all the Black gentlemen, not just Black, let me say anyone who was incarcerated, be it the color. I think it's up to like 50,000 individuals right now been able to get out. But I also would go with the tariffs next.
Okay. Well, so look, let me give you a little bit of credit because one, we do understand that, the First Step Act, that's it was, I will say it was definitely a good thing, but it wasn't necessarily a Trump deal, right? I mean, we do understand that this was an Obama era initiative that Mitch McConnell wouldn't pass. But as soon as Barack Obama was out of office, Mitch McConnell passed that right through the Senate, and then they had to actually convince Donald Trump to sign it. But I will give Trump a little bit of credit because, yes, he did put his name on it. So that's a little something, but cool. I don't necessarily think so. But you said you like tariffs. Now you have my interest. Why do you actually like? So you are good with him trading the U.S. economy for tariffs? Because I mean, he's tanked the economy.
U.S. economy, you got to elaborate a little on that because it's multifaceted,
Yeah.
right?
You're right. You're right. That is a little bit ambiguous, right? I'm talking about the fact that the stock market has continued to crash. I'm talking about inflation starting to rise. I'm talking about consumer confidence being down. I'm also talking about prices going up as far as everyday commodities. So there's multiple facets, but that are, well, no, you're right, but they're going up higher because of Donald Trump's tariffs.
Market, you would know too that the market and acts in the same manner every election cycle.
That's not true.
That's
absolutely not true. It doesn't actually fluctuate this much. Now there is an actual fluctuation. Listen, whenever there's a transition and there's any type of uncertainty, the markets definitely do respond with fluctuation. But the markets actually responded in a positive way when Donald Trump was elected because they thought that he was going to be very pro-business, very pro-corporation, and so from the time that he was elected. From the time that he was elected up until a couple of days ago, the stock market had made about $1.77 trillion in gains.
Okay.
You know what happened once he started playing this tariff game with the other countries?
The market shifted,
and it lost how much?
I don't know. What was it, like 2 or 3 basis points?
Almost $1.7 trillion. Almost all the gains that Donald Trump, that the market had made since Donald Trump was elected, have been completely wiped out because Donald Trump is playing tariff games. He's playing chicken. And then even more than that, he's putting tariffs on Canada. He's taking tariffs off Canada. But you know what Canada said? Nah, we're going to keep these retaliatory tariffs on. Sure. Canada still has those tariffs on us while we keep putting them on, taking them off, putting them on, taking them off, because it's a weird game he's playing.
If you dig further into it, you can see that the Canada tariffs have always been extremely high. They've been overcharging us for a long time, right? So if you also go into, like, I don't know what sector of business you're into outside of TikTok, but let's go a little deeper into the tariffs, right? So the tariff initiative is to bring employment back into the United States, right? Mm-hmm. For all the jobs and all the businesses that have left and gone overseas. I'm all for the cutting down. I've also lived abroad for 5 or 6 years. Mm-hmm. So I've been able to see how much, the rest of the world relies upon us, right? Mm-hmm. So which has decimated our economic occupational culture, mm-hmm. right? So if you're a company, if you're Ford or Chevrolet or whatever those offshore or those automakers have gone over to China to reproduce their mm-hmm. The cars. If you're able to bring that back, I don't know where you live in the country, but I feel like the Midwest needs a little help right now. Mm. So my question to individuals who are against the tariffs, mm-hmm. right, is what would be the plan to get us out of the fiscal debt that we're in as a country if we don't make moves like this?
Okay.
We can't upskill our workforce like India did and get everybody to be technologically savvy fast enough to compete. Mm-hmm. So this is another reason why I'm into the drilling idea.
Okay. So wait, because now you're going all over. Let me actually answer your question and even more so, let me give you a little bit of background about myself, right? Because you said you don't know what I do outside of TikTok, and which most people don't, right? Right. They see me on TikTok, they think, oh, this guy's just a TikToker. Mm-hmm. Fun fact, I have multiple MBAs, and one of my minors in undergrad, or my minor in undergrad, was for accounting for my business degree. One of my minors for one of my MBAs was in accounting. So yeah, I've worked for multiple Fortune 50 Fortune 50 companies, and I got a little bit of experience. So with that being said, I definitely understand business. I definitely understand tariffs. And you mentioned tariffs have always been high when it comes to Canada. I'm not going to say that they're not necessarily, you know, but the point that I was pulling towards more so versus tariffs were the actual retaliatory tariffs. But then also, I mean, Donald Trump negotiated the UMCA, which actually made sure that a vast amount of goods didn't necessarily have tariffs on it. With that being said, tariffs definitely have their place, right? Tariffs have their place, but tariffs are very inflationary, right? And the fact that Donald Trump is taking he's casting a wide net with so many different tariffs, putting 25% tariffs on multiple countries, on everything, that's what's harmful, right? And so I guess to answer your question specifically.
So if those businesses come back, right?
But what incentive do they actually have to come back?
I mean, they're probably. I'm assuming that most states, very similar like to what Georgia has done for the movie industry, they're going to have tax incentives for these businesses to come back and manufacture there.
But you see, but like right there, you hit it. Like that's how you actually incentivize businesses, through tax incentives, and not cutting their taxes, not putting tariffs on. If you actually give them tax incentives, and you give them different incentives, whether it's through hiring practices, whether it's through, you know, all of these different types of things that actually Joe Biden did to an extreme level. That's why manufacturing actually came back under the Biden administration. I can, you know, cite my source, but manufacturing actually improved under the Biden era because of the actual government incentives that you throw out, not by placing tariffs on them.
Yeah. So now we would have to assume that this kind of ties maybe back into immigration as well. I'm open for the conversation, but we would have to assume that we have enough individuals that are skilled enough in our country to, at a mass level, take back many. I'm only speaking of auto right now. Steel and things like that, I don't think will come back in a full force like it once did, just because of the environmental restrictions that we have today. But do you feel like the new wave of Americans are ready to go back into the auto industry and manufacture at the level that, right?
No, but you know what though? Like we shouldn't. And I'm just being honest, right? I mean, the simple fact of the matter is, in which Donald Trump talks about this all the time, and there's, you know, big talk about AI, right? And how that's going to revolutionize the world and everything. What the United States should be doing, instead of looking to abolish the Department of Education and actually, quote unquote, sending it back to the states, we should actually be investing in our education system, investing in our STEM programs, investing in math and science to actually increase the level of education in the country, so we can actually take advantage of those AI jobs that are being created. And let's leave the manufacturing to other countries. Like we know for a fact that it's more cost effective to import import certain products. And if we can actually educate our country and actually raise their education level, we can actually allow them to earn more, and we can capitalize on a new, quote unquote, AI bubble that's occurring. Like that's more beneficial than saying, oh, we need to put people back in factories.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I definitely agree with that. But on the AI side, like, okay, for one, like NVIDIA, right?
Mm-hmm.
How long would it take us if it's not cars, right? How long would it take us to upskill the entire Midwest? I'm picking on the Midwest right now because I get it. I get why. Right. So how long would it actually take us to upskill our entire workforce to compete with China and India's workforce? How are they able to do it as third world countries, communist
developing nation, my friends? And also they're not communist. That's
well,
not
China, right?
China isn't communist.
You know, China's not a communist country.
You are not a. I can tell you're not a dumb guy. So I'm just going to tell you, I don't think you know the definition of communism.
Okay, by label. So what are they? Are they?
Yeah, they definitely run the label, but that's not what they actually are.
Okay, so
China is definitely a dictatorship.
Okay, dictatorship, which has communistic undertones.
No, it doesn't. Because what is communism? Communism, my friend.
To me, communism is
no, not to you, my friend. Like, what is it actually?
It's an oligarchy. It's a nation, a state ran by one person, where there is no freedom of speech.
That's not it.
There's no free market.
Communism is a stateless, classless, moneyless society where everything is equal, right? Everyone shares in the production and in the goods. That's communism. It's
Okay.
that's when you talk
So
about dictatorships versus communism, it's different.
Okay, so what country today is labeled in your definition as a communist country?
I mean, I don't think there's any specific country that you would fall under that category. I'm not as versed in it. I'm not a communist. I do have some communist friends that are more versed in it. So I wouldn't be able to say. All I can tell you for sure is that China is not a communist country. I know North Korea is not either. North Korea is a dictatorship. Let me read this off. Hold on 1 second, guys. W's in the chat for Lynette. Lynette sent a $25 donation saying, please ask him about the USMCA that. Oh yeah, exactly. Like that's the same thing. Yeah, the USMCA. W's in the chat for Lynette. Yeah, we talked about that. Thank you so much for that $25 donation. Exactly, guys. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. All of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. If you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. Also, over on YouTube, we do have super chats. If you are interested in making a donation over on YouTube, you can do so through super chats. Guys, keep tapping the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 200,000 likes. Also, let's knock out this daily gift goal. It's the little donuts. That'll help continue to push us out to the FYP. With that being said, peace. Like I understand what you're saying, right? And when you talk about scaling up to meet the actual quote unquote level of production, like I think that you have to understand, even when you talk about China, right? And the way that they've been able to actually hit such a cutting edge and even, able to outperform the United States when it comes to certain things connected to AI, it's because of the way they invest in their education system versus the way that we invest in ours. Right. And it's not necessarily even about, they put money into their education system, but it's the way that they teach their kids and their students. And they actually teach for specific, like I said, mathematics, science, and to learn versus teaching them tests, which the United States, they teach to test.
But it's interesting that everyone from foreign lands comes here for their education.
I mean, like there are certain countries where it's better to actually come and get said education and then take it back to their homeland. But that's not like overall. I mean, there are multiple countries, multiple schools outside of the country that are way better than schools within the United States. I mean, there's a difference between like MIT or Harvard or Yale or like an Ivy League school or just a normal college. I think there's a lot of people that come into the country for other reasons besides just attending college.
No, I'm only speaking for those individuals. Like you've been on the college campus.
No. What I'm saying, going to college in the U.S. is not just about, I'm getting a degree from the United States. Okay. I mean, there's multiple factors as well.
I don't know. I have to
listen. You can get a degree.
How many Americans are going to China for university?
Well, no. Listen to the second part that I was just about to say. Listen to the second part that I was about to say. If you can get a degree in the United States and actually make those connections, you can streamline yourself into multiple companies, businesses. It's more than just an education.
Okay.
I mean, it's about capitalism, my friend. Like that's what it's really about. And other countries don't do capitalism like the United States, but whatever.
Yeah, totally. But let's go back to the economy piece. Another reason why the market is fluctuating in a crazy manner right now is because spending hasn't slowed. So even though inflation is at its highest, for whatever reason, interesting enough, spending has not gone down. So do you really care about the inflation?
Hold on 1 second. Lynn? No, that's not Lynn. I'm sorry. You said spending hasn't slowed.
It hasn't slowed. That we can look that up. Everyone look that up.
Yeah. I mean, you're absolutely right. But I mean, there's other ways to actually address issues than just saying, we're going to cut spending. Right. I mean, because we do know that even when we talk about these quote unquote cuts that they're proposing, a lot of these areas that they're proposing cuts to, they are areas that outpace the amount that they spend on versus what they bring in, right? So they generate a ton of revenue. Like even the cuts that they're trying to make to the national park system, I think that I got to look it up for sure, but I think it's like we spend $5 billion a year on national parks, and then it brings in like $55 billion a year. Like it's absolutely ridiculous on some of the things that we spend money on that we get money back from. But then when you talk about the Republican Party and you know the Trump administration specifically, like they're not looking to slow spending. I mean, they're looking to cut spending so they can pass a massive tax cut that's going to add another $4 trillion to our debt.
Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, I think that's the only way to beat inflation is the inverse of that, right? Is for the spending to slow, for jobs to be lost, right? That's
but
the
inflation is going. Wait, you're saying the way to beat inflation is
that's the inverse. That was the whole soft landing thing that everyone was talking about during the Biden.
Wait. You do understand that under the Biden administration, not only did we quote unquote have a soft landing, we improved jobs. The job numbers were better. Inflation was actually on a downward trend, and we were actually set to have growth in the first quarter to our GDP. But because of all the things that Donald Trump has done, including his tariff policies, we went from an actual growth projection by the end of Q1 to being at a negative 2.8. So we're actually in line to be in a recession because of what Donald Trump has done.
I don't think inflation was high during the end of the Biden administration.
Yeah, no,
right?
it was down. It's gone back up now under the Trump administration.
Right. But this is before he's gotten in to do the whole tariff thing.
But no,
right?
the tariff thing is what's causing it. That's what I'm saying. He was the way
enacted like a week ago.
Yeah, but you talked earlier about how. Right? Thank you for the love. We talked earlier about how markets respond to instability, right? Well, companies do as well. And if you're threatening tariffs on and off, then companies have already responded in kind. And just like Canada saying, oh, we're not going to take these retaliatory tariffs off because we don't know exactly what you plan on doing. Other companies are saying, well, we don't understand what the Trump administration is doing, so we're going to continue to actually raise our prices, keep them high, and just go forward from there. So like this is caused because of his instability. Like someone said this earlier. They said, oh, people always talk about how Donald Trump inherited a great economy from Barack Obama, but they're not willing to admit that Donald Trump inherited a trashy economy from Joe Biden. Well, the difference is when Donald Trump got into office his first term, not only did he not throw a bunch of tariffs around, but he really didn't do anything that would negatively impact the Obama economy. Joe Biden's economy was actually one of the strongest economies that we've had in recent history, and he got that turned around. But Donald Trump has completely alienated the I'm sorry?
You got to factor in COVID, people.
C-19, my friend.
I'm sorry, but yeah, my bad.
You're good.
C-19. You got to factor in all that. The money that was dished out, the money that people saved. A lot of people were sitting on money. Not everybody lost their job. We've been on.
Wait. So are you saying that about Joe Biden's economy?
Am I saying that about Joe Biden's economy? What do you mean?
Wait, you're saying we got to take factors in for what? I'm confused. Which one are you speaking to?
Well, you mentioned that the fluctuation between Obama having a good economy, Trump taking credit for that, right? And then going into then we had CV19, whatever you want to call it.
C19. Mm-hmm.
C19, right? And nothing happened. The market went up, right? And then Biden comes back into office in a healthy market. So who really?
Wait, the market wasn't healthy when Biden took over.
We were at all. This is when Bitcoin, all the stocks, everything popped off during that time.
Yeah, the markets were down. The markets were down because when Donald Trump handed off, we were in the midst of C19. So not only was the markets not down, markets were down, but the economy overall was down because people weren't out on the roads, people weren't spending money, like all of those things. So like the economy was in a bad place, and then inflation went to the inflation went through the roof because of multiple factors, including issues with the supply chain. Right, there were massive issues with the supply chain, and even though the issues with the supply chains were then fixed, there were still issues where there was greedflation and shrinkflation by corporations. So, like, literally, companies
was
shot
doing really well. Like, I see someone saying like crypto was the only thing affected. No, I mean, you look at Nvidia was born from this. You know, you look at Amazon stock. You can look at the entire stock. It went down for about a quarter. You can look it up, and you can see everything bounce back higher than what it was before.
Right, but that's because of Joe Biden's policies.
Right.
That's because when Joe Biden got in office, he enacted policies like the Chips and Science Act, the infrastructure bill. He helped pass the PAC Act. Like they did multiple things to actually make sure. I don't necessarily
credit for the infrastructure bill because that never actually was enacted for the things that the bridges and all the roads and stuff they were talking about.
Yeah, the infrastructure bill was absolutely enacted.
Where can we see that today?
Literally in multiple states. You know what's funny? You know what's funny? Greg Abbott put out this massive article and information about how there was such great developments in Texas, developments to their complete infrastructure system, and how this is absolutely great for Texas and all of this other stuff. He said all of that without naming Joe Biden, because those actual funds that he got to make all of those improvements in Texas came from the infrastructure bill.
So now we're talking about the same Texas that at that very instance lost all their power for 2 weeks.
Oh, I'm not talking about their power grid. Their power grid is crap, but that's because they have an independent power grid, which is completely different. I'm not talking about their power grid. I'm talking about their infrastructure. There's a difference. Their roads, their transportation.
There's a lot in that infrastructure bill.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. Right? I understand.
It's not just roads and bridges. It's infrastructure as a whole.
No, I get it. But again, when you're talking about their actual, that's a misnomer, because again, Texas has their own individual power grid, and that's completely separate from what we were talking about and completely separate than what he was talking about. But the simple fact of the matter is the actual infrastructure bill did a lot to actually improve the multiple states and actually improve the health of our economy. It hired so many jobs were created because of the infrastructure bill.
To me, when I'm doing my research on the infrastructure bill, it looks like that was not real money. It was not inflated. It
was a bill over 10 years.
Name a city. Well, let's just say that over the last 6 years, name a city. And
it hasn't been 6 years. It hasn't been 6 years since it was passed.
4 years, right?
It hasn't been 4 years since it was passed. It was passed.
When was it passed?
It was passed on November the 15th, 2021.
Okay. So
it's been a little over 3 years.
And now it's interesting that they're not promoting it as they once were, right? It was a bipartisan bill. So that means that
that's because that's because the Trump administration doesn't want to highlight the actual wins, and they're trying to roll back certain parts of the actual infrastructure bill. Donald Trump is literally trying to get rid of multiple things that Joe Biden did, including trying to get rid of the Chips and Science Act, while then talking about like he got this deal from Taiwan where they're going to actually be doing chip manufacturing in the U.S. That was part of the actual Chips and Science Act. Donald Trump is trying to claim a victory from the Chips and Science Act.
We can't really include Taiwan because we know that's like a touchy subject of like.
No, I'm just talking about them trying to actually roll back certain bills.
That's an American company. I only want to speak of American.
No. I'm not even trying to talk about the actual company or anything. I'm just saying how they're trying to actually not speak to the things that the actual bills promoted and what Joe Biden did. Let me say this, guys. W's in the chat for Yeetus. Yeetus sent a $6 donation saying, "Bless you, cause whoo, child, these people listen." Yeetus, you know how I do. W's in the chat for Gucci. Gucci sent a $5 donation saying, "Most people come here for higher education, not the K through 12 school system." You're absolutely right about that. W's in the chat for Gucci for that donation, guys. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. All of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live If you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please, please, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. If you are a Trump supporter, get in the box. If you are someone that supports Donald Jimothy Trump, get in the box. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters. Guys, keep tapping the screen as well. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 250,000 likes. Yeah, I mean, so of course they're not going to highlight these bills that were so successful under the Biden administration because they have no interest in actually giving Joe Biden credit.
But it was a bipartisan bill as well.
I agree.
So even if it's not the administration, right? Like the Congress should still be highlighting that.
I mean, I agree, but so
jobs and all that. I don't know what American are these government jobs? Are these like what company is supposed to be providing all these jobs?
I mean, there's multiple, but hold on, let me stress test a thought for you real quick. So you're saying that you're saying Congress should be highlighting these actual wins from this bipartisan bill.
I'm just saying if it's bipartisan, my thought process around something labeled as bipartisan. What other things are bipartisan, right? If it's a bipartisan and it was something to help the American, public and states, restructure their infrastructure, then you would think that it would be something that was constantly promoted. I don't know anyone personally I live in California, so I don't know anyone personally who has benefited from or gotten a job through the infrastructure bill. If there are people, I love to be wrong and prove me wrong.
Yeah, sure. I'll give you specific information on that because again, it created jobs. But give me a second. What up, Hawk? Hawk, can you hear me?
What's up? I don't know if you called me up or why you called, but remember the government website that had all of the infrastructure stuff from every state? Show him that. If the new administration hasn't taken it down, there was a government website that you could go to and it would show you a map of the country, and you could
hold on one second,
click
please.
on your state. Hold on, dude. I'm here to support him. Just give me a second.
Okay.
But to your point, because you sound like you don't know where this stuff is coming from and if it's working or if it was funded. It was funded, it was working, and there was because I don't know if the Trump administration has taken it down, a website that you could go to that had a map of the United States. You could click on your state and it would tell you what funding your state got and what your state was doing in terms of infrastructure based on the money they received from the federal government. So it is a real thing, and it was funded, and it was working. Now, the Trump administration wants to draw back on all of that. They're not going to support it. So they may have taken that website down already. But the infrastructure was working, and there were projects done in pretty much every state before the end of last year.
Okay.
Yeah, you're referring to, there's a site here. It's U.S. Department of Labor. So you can go to dol.gov/agency/whd/government-contract-protections- for workers in construction. And it actually gives more information about the multiple things that were actually enacted, a part of the infrastructure bill. And you can actually find, let's see here. Let's find the map.
I mean, you can look up your individual state and see what was going on in your state, because every state was different.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys feel like it benefited, amazing.
No. I mean, I'm not saying that it feels like it. I'm telling you that it definitely did.
Great. Okay. I'll take that if that's what you say. But I don't know if I'm feeling that.
Wait, what do you mean? What?
At Santana checkout.
Hawk, were you saying something?
Santana checkout. Yeah, infrastructure bill. I'm sorry. Let me make sure I tell it to you right. Infrastructure reportcard.org.
So these are state funded jobs. Like these people work essentially for the government. If you've been
No, they were federally funded, but the states it was federally funded, but the states decided what projects they were going to do, right? So let's say in your state, it really was bridges and roads that needed work or whatever. Then when your state got their federal funding, they would hire contractors or whatever to rebuild the bridges, build the new roads, and do all of that stuff. Every state was different. It was dependent on what the state needed.
Yeah. So you said you're in California, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So specifically in California, they actually put out, they did a couple of different things for Burbank modernization. They actually did hire people and did work for the aviation in California. Burbank needs 1.3 billion, or got 1.3 billion to modernize nearly 100-year-old facilities. Yeah, like, I'm sorry.
That's a new airport.
Well, yeah, they're saying here they put money towards their aviation system, 400 million. They needed 400 million for the aviation infrastructure over the, it says, next 5 years from July 2022 to 2027. So yeah, that's something that they did in California. But yeah, if you go to specifically the site that Hawk was just naming, you can actually pick out different things for different states. You can also pick out what was done by like actual types of jobs, right? So aviation, bridges, broadband, drinking water, like all of the different categories. So you can see exactly what they did for those different areas. So yeah, like there's love the fact that drinking water was specifically targeted in Michigan, Cincinnati, Atlanta, Georgia, Virginia. So yeah, like you can see all across the map where these actual jobs were created and done.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if the general public feels like that, amazing. I feel like for the amount of money and the amount of jobs that they were talking about, we should feel more of an impact to the ground level. I don't know if when you mentioned Burbank, if you're unfamiliar with the area, it's a suburb. It's got a small airport there. It's been around for many years, and they're redoing the airport. I'm like, okay, cool. Do we need a new airport in that particular area when we have the catastrophe of the fires and not being able to clear brush and all these things that is a whole nother bracket.
Holy smokes. You got to give me a second. Guys, massive W's in the chat. Massive W's in the chat for Baron. Baron sent a $50 cash app. Thank you so much for that $50 cash app, Baron. W's in the chat for Baron for that $50 cash app. That is awesome. Thank you. Also, W's in the chat for Arian, who sent a $5 donation saying Blaga is the worst, is worse than MAGA. Who can we trust at this point? W's in the chat for Aaron. W's in the chat for Courtney, who sent a $1 donation saying the infrastructure bill did things in Pennsylvania. We got money to fix the roads, our bridges, our environmental protections. You're absolutely right. And then also Courtney sent another $1 donation saying Republicans accept the money and the deals and refuse to thank Biden. They tried to take credit for it. Exactly. Multiple governors in Republican states did that very thing. Also, W's in the chat for Maddie, who sent a $5 donation saying for the transgender mice education. God bless your patience, bro. Yeah, absolutely. We all know about that one. Guys, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24, best way to support the live. If you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. We also have over on YouTube, if you want to support, you can always send a super chat and I will read that message out. Hawk, I think you were saying something.
Well, I was going to respond to his last statement because it sounds like he's conflating things. First of all, if they're upgrading this airport in Burbank that you're talking about or whatever, that probably started last year off of the infrastructure bill like we were just talking about or whatever. The fires just happened, but that's also not how government works. Different budgets handle different things. So money from the budget from the infrastructure bill wouldn't go towards the fires and stuff anyway. Those are two completely different things. We can't conflate everything and say just that's the same argument that they're making when they say we shouldn't be sending money to Ukraine. That money comes out of the military budget. That money will never be spent on homeless people here or anything in the United States. It will only be spent on the military.
But
it's a very small percentage of even that, right?
Sure, but let me go back and we said it was 2022 to 2027, right? So like we should have been able to see here in the state them making an initiative for prevention purposes, right? We're a state where we get a bunch of fires.
You're talking about state level. You're talking about state level government. I'm not speaking to state level government.
Right. But so okay. So you're saying that it's federal because it's an airport, right? FAA. Okay, cool. But
no. What I'm saying is that's one of the projects where the funds were dedicated to. I'm not saying that
2 to 27 remark.
Yeah. Specifically, that was one project that was initiated in that state.
Right. But I'm saying like this has been around since 2022. So if we have money to do all these different things, right, outside of just the airport, we should be able to see that.
Again, different pots of money though. Can you show me how forest fires are tied to infrastructure? If you can make that connection legitimately, then maybe I understand your point. But I think that's a different pot of money. That's what I'm saying. That's not how the government works.
And
when a budget is set up for a specific thing, that's the only thing that money can be spent on.
But okay, so I mean, it's got to be a part of infrastructure, right? Because it's within our city,
not.
Right?
Hold on.
I don't think it is.
It's not, but the airport is, right? So like,
the airport is. But again, you're still talking about state level funding.
Absolutely.
State level.
When you're talking about the management, yes, there are federal funds that are allocated to the forest system and being able to keep up with our natural wildlife, like all of those. Yes, that's completely different.
That you were talking about,
right?
Well, right. That's federal.
Yes, that's not part of the infrastructure bill. That's not what we're talking about. I mean, if you have a gripe with the way that they're actually maintaining the foliage in California, I mean, I hear you. I'm not pushing back on that, but that's not what we're talking about.
But I'm refuting your point on it not being federal though.
No,
you just mentioned the national parks.
But we're talking about the infrastructure bill specifically.
Yes.
Now you're trying to go off onto like
I'm
different, but that's what Hawk was saying. Where you're talking about different pots of money. It's not all the same pot.
But the infrastructure bill had multitudes of initiatives inside of it, right?
Right, but it wasn't for wildlife or forestry. That's not what infrastructure is.
It's probably in there. Somebody
it's not. It's not
a list of the things inside the bill.
It's not. You can go take a look at the bill. It's not in there. That's not a thing.
You just mentioned that the water systems are in there. So let's connect. Okay, if you want to make this point, then let's connect our water systems and our reservoirs being in the same places.
So let me just tell you how about this. Let's make it super simple for you. I'm going to read out everything that would be considered infrastructure.
Okay.
Aviation, bridges, broadband, drinking water, hazardous waste, island waterways, levees, ports, railroad, reconnecting communities, railroads, stormwater, transit, transportation, wastewater, water. Those things.
Pipes and those things coming from? They're coming from the mountains here. I don't know if you've ever been here.
Listen,
the storm waters, the reservoirs.
You keep trying to make this connection, but I'm telling you, the thing that you're specifically speaking to, it does not fall under infrastructure. I listen. I'm not trying to say that you. No, I hear you. I hear you. Listen. I hear you. I hear what you're saying. That's just like saying, oh, I'm a Lakers fan, and we're playing against the Celtics tomorrow. And I would really like for, Rui Hachimura to be playing. Well, he's a part of the team. Well, no, he's hurt. Yeah, but he's a part of the team. He should be playing tomorrow. No, he's hurt. Like, I get logically, I hear what you're saying, but the thing that you're specifically speaking to is not a part of infrastructure. It's not. I hear how you're making the connection. I'm not even saying you're wrong on making the connection. I'm just saying that it's not a part of infrastructure.
So if you can't say that I'm not wrong, you can't come back.
I'm saying that you're not wrong in the sense of me saying I understand how you're making the connection. I'm saying you're absolutely wrong as saying that it is a part of infrastructure. It is not. It is not a part of infrastructure. I can see how you can make the connection. I'm trying to extend the olive branch to you and say, oh, you're not crazy. Like, that's not wild. Like, I can see how you make, that's not a leap. I'm not grabbing my tinfoil hat, but I'm also telling you, no matter how much of a connection you try to make, it's not a part of it. Doesn't matter. It's not a part of it.
Okay. So when you mention reservoir,
Santana, let me give a very slight pushback. I'm gonna give him hold on, dude. I'm gonna give you a concession. Very slight pushback to what Obama just said. Obama, damn, what Santana just said. I just called you Obama, dude.
Yeah.
The issue is if the infrastructure within your state for the waterways, right, the sewer systems, the fire hydrants, if that infrastructure was sound, then that was not a project that California would have put any of that money towards, right? And as far as we know, that infrastructure is sound, right? So that's the issue. Again, the federal government gave the individual states different amounts of federal funding for infrastructure. The states themselves decided what infrastructure projects were critically needed for their states, right?
Sure.
So if the connection that you make, and I'll give you that connection, right? The water systems or whatever, if those systems were not in bad shape at all and they were fine, then that would not be a project that your state would work on with that infrastructure bill. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel what you're saying, but we see that in our tragedy that there wasn't a problem with it, right? So if we had money from since 2022, and our state
no, there wasn't. You know what the problem was? Hold on. I'm sorry. I know I cut you off, and I apologize. But the problem was global warming.
Hawk, I think you have a lag.
The problem was
just an FYI.
Weather, right? My son lives.
Yeah.
I think
Hawk, you have a lag. Try swiping out real quick. Swipe out real quick and then swipe back in.
Is he lagging for you?
All right.
Yeah, he's lagging. That's why he's lagging. Give him a second. Let me just tell you this real quick. Just an FYI, just so I can help you understand this.
We were on tariffs, by the way, but go ahead.
I'm sorry?
I said we were on tariffs. We got to the infrastructure.
Yeah, like we started talking about the wonderful things that were being done and all this other stuff. Just an FYI. So the infrastructure bill falls under the Department of a couple of different things. The Department of Transportation, the Department of Energy, and the Department of Interior, right?
And the FAA as well,
I'm sorry?
I think the FAA as well.
I don't know, maybe.
That's
maybe. But specifically, when you talk about the actual national budget for like forestry and things, that falls under the U.S. National Parks and Services, right? So it's two completely different entities. That's what I'm saying. Hawk, you were saying something?
I don't remember what I was saying now. Oh, he was talking about that there was a problem because of the fires or whatever, and it really wasn't. The problem was mostly global warming, right? In terms of what the fire departments needed, and all of the fire departments that lent in and did what they needed to do or whatever, those were not the problems. The problem is the way it sparked off, the high winds that y'all had and everything else or whatever, and it was jumping around all over the place. They had what they needed. It was just a much bigger fire than they've had to deal with in a very, very long time or whatever. And again, you could probably blame that on global warming. That's a whole nother conversation. But it's not like they didn't have what they needed. There
were some water issues with the
No,
reservoir.
there weren't. That's a Trump. I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry. That's not true. That's a Trump talking point. They did not have water issues.
They did not have water issues. Very close to that area. And you can look. My son is in the exact smack dab middle of that area, and he went through it, bouncing back and forth between his place and his mom's place and everything else or whatever. And trust me, there was no issues with water like that. That's not true. There's a reservoir.
We didn't hear about that until Trump brought it up.
There was a reservoir, and I mean, some of our elected officials here spoke to that. If you looked at all those press conferences, there was an issue with the water.
It wasn't, but okay.
Well, I mean, if there was
the whole thing with the
wait, hold on. So if there was an issue with the water, it would be like really amazing if someone passed maybe some type of bill, right? Maybe some type of bill that would help with maybe like the infrastructure with the water, maybe like some type of infrastructure bill that dealt with like drinking water, dealt with like wastewater, dealt like with water in general. Like that would be awesome if there was a bill that was proposed maybe over a 10-year period that actually address those multiple types of issues, not only in California, but all across the country. Like that would be an awesome bill if it was passed that would actually address those issues. Right, Peace?
I mean, we this is what
right, Peace?
Right?
Right.
But my rebuttal is that it's not trickling down, right? We know that we were shoveling water from the mountains into the ocean. That's everyone here knows that.
Yeah, again,
right?
This is a 10-year bill that just got started, and even more than that, the Trump administration is trying to roll back on those initiatives.
Chat are saying that they felt like they've seen it trickle down.
I'm not talking about anybody's feelings. I'm talking about what we can quantify. I'm sorry. I can't quantify feelings.
But you mentioned all these places where the jobs were,
Yeah, because we can quantify that. We can actually pull the number specifically on the actual amount of people that were hired.
Okay. So I'm saying if what you're saying is true and this has started and this is happening, I'm seeing people in the chat saying, oh, we saw the roads getting fixed here and bridges there, right?
Yeah. Are you talking to the chat or are you talking to us?
I'm talking to everybody in the room, you included,
What up, facts?
It's a collective, it's a community, right?
No, you're up here on the panel, friend.
Okay, so I can talk directly to you then. So what I'm saying is, to your point about things starting off in 2022, right? We would have seen it trickle down, at least in my personal opinion, in a far greater magnitude than what it is.
Listen, I'm sorry, peace. I'm sorry, I don't care about your personal opinion. Like this is a 10-year bill, 10-year bill that was set to actually make improvements all across the country. So just because you're saying that you don't feel like it actually happened fast enough in whatever area that you want it to happen in, that doesn't matter. Like there's statistic, like you can actually pull the W's in the chat for Lemon for the boxing gloves. Thank you so much for the boxing gloves. There's actual statistical data that we can pull about all of the areas that have gotten different types of work done, right? So like I hear you don't feel like that they've done enough in your area and you don't feel like they're talking about it enough, but I'm sorry, I don't care about your feelings.
Okay. What I'm saying though is the work has started, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I was saying. If the work has started, then certain things shouldn't be happening, right?
No.
I don't have to be right.
You're not right.
It's fine.
I know. I'm just letting you know. Like that's not how it works. Again, it's a massive 10-year deal that's set to target the entire country, not just California. It's not a 2-year deal to target. If you were saying that this was a specific 2-year bill that was targeting just California, and you were saying 2 years later, nothing has actually changed. We haven't seen X, Y, or Z, blah, 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 and we can't quantify it, then I would sit here and say, you're absolutely right. But again, this is a massive 10-year bill for the entire country.
We'll see. I'll have to come back and find you in 10 years and measure up the amount of jobs that were offered for this and how that makes the country look. You know what I'm saying? But I was on the tariffs. We got into a bipartisan bill, infrastructure bill. Cool. Let's see what happens. I'm down to see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of
Stacy, my head hurts too.
If I can,
let's go back to the tariffs though, because we didn't even finish ending that off. Like, I feel like I'm the only one in here, so we might as well keep it going.
You're not, but as a matter of fact, I mean, like you're absolutely not. I mean, there's people in the box, guys. Let me do this. Let me just go ahead and do a reset, right? Guys, tap the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 300,000 likes. Let's also get the shares up to 400 shares. Listen, guys, there's 1.5 thousand of us hanging out. Let's do all the wonderful things. Tap the screen, share the live out, do all the wonderful things. Also, let's knock out this daily gift goal. It's the little heart hands. Let's knock out the heart hands. And while Hawk is up here, guys, let's make sure we're taking care of Hawk as well. Let's make sure we're gifting him. I know his pay links are in his bio. Mods, can we get his pay links running in the polls as well? Let's make sure that we're taking care of Hawk while he is up here laboring with us. And let me call these out. Guys, W's in the chat for Yvette. Yvette sent a $10 donation. Thank you so much for that $10 donation, Yvette. You are absolutely, absolutely too kind. W's in the chat for John. John sent a $5 donation. John, sorry, John, I can't get you up because this is sparring. But if you actually, John, can you drop a here in the chat, and if you can send a message to one of my mods, I can have one of my mods come up at some point and do an announcement, and they can cover that. They can definitely do that. But this is more of a late night conversation. You can definitely come back on late nights and do that. But if you just drop it here and then grab one of my mods and get them this information, and we can definitely make that announcement and that information. But guys, W's in the chat for John for that $5 donation. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. All of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. Everything is accepted. Anything's appreciated. You can also donate over on YouTube through Super Chat. I see YouTube is hanging out. Guys, if you're on YouTube as well, make sure you like the stream. Keep tapping the like button. Let's do all the wonderful things. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter. We are only talking to Trump supporters. Do not request up if you are not a Trump supporter. We are only talking to Trump supporters. Only talking to Trump supporters. They're spinning here. All right. So go ahead. You said you wanted to go back to tariffs. You were praising tariffs.
Yeah, I'm praising tariffs. But I wanted to ask you a question from your Democratic perspective.
I'll say leftist.
Leftist. For the concept that you were talking about on the companies coming back and us not being ready to produce and going into like the chips and the AI thing. What are some other industries that you feel like we would be able to delve into, right, to keep us in the space that we are now in the world as a world power? Like
I'm trying to understand your question.
What initiatives did Biden come up with outside of the infrastructure bill, which is taxpayer dollars, right? Mm-hmm. That money's not coming from anywhere. Mm-hmm. Or for income into the United States.
The Chips and Science Act.
The Chips and Science Act, yes.
Okay, Chips and Science Act. So once again, I think going back to my original question of how will we upskill our workforce to be able to make microchips, right? And that, like, even being able to pass a bill to trickle down money to skill people.
Trickle down doesn't work. You should probably stop saying that word. It doesn't work.
Okay, so give me answer my question. You know what I mean? Like, what are the other industries? What else are we good at as a country that would allow us to bring in funds to keep us where we are today?
I don't know. That's a good question. I would have to take a look at what we're doing successfully and then how we would scale those things. I mean, that's not something that I've really dug into holistically, so I can't genuinely answer that question. I just know that going backwards to manufacture isn't the way. I mean, my point is investing in math and science. I mean, we can also talk about actually looking to improve our healthcare system. I mean, there's always a need to actually improve that, and then healthcare is something that's exportable. We do know that, like, Cuba's number one main export is doctors, right? And we know for a fact that we have a shortage of doctors in this country. So, I mean, that's something that we could actually look at doing. But for me, it all goes back to improving our overall education system and doing all of those things that would actually push us forward as an issue.
Well, if we improve the education system, where are we going with that? For what?
Yeah, I mean, again, like I would have to look it up and give me a second here. Let me do it. Let me do it in real time because this is not an exercise that I went deep into. But let's see here.
I'm just, I'm just throwing it out there. Like, what are the other things that would allow us to take this deficit away, right?
I don't think that's a fair question because it's not just about
improving jobs.
The niche that you put it in.
Mm-hmm.
It's also about the tax incentives that they've given the ultra rich in this country.
Oh, yeah.
That's the biggest. For instance, when you guys were talking earlier and he was trying to explain to you the difference between Trump's first administration following Obama and Trump's administration now following Biden. This is a commonly known thing, right? The first year and a half ish or so, right, of a presidency, you're really still following the economic structure from the previous presidency, right? During Trump's administration, that first year and a half to 2 years, like Santana said a little while ago, he really didn't do anything, but he was living off of the leftover economy from the Obama administration. The only thing he did during that time was pass the TCJA, right? The tax incentive for rich people, which wasn't paid for. So that added a little more than $4 trillion to the deficit. So that's where the debt came from. It didn't come from so-called overspending. It came from giving tax breaks to millionaires and billionaires and corporations or whatever and adding that money to the deficit.
So
that's part of the problem.
Do you feel like we aren't overspending?
In a lot of places, sure we are. But again, I think you're missing the point, right? If you make this a math problem, if you're overspending in one place, but you're doing something even more wrong in the other place, which one do you handle first, right? You handle the biggest problem first. I think the biggest problem is regulating and taxing corporations and rich people, which we haven't really done since the Reagan administration.
Exactly.
That's
Hold on one second.
Issue.
Hold on a second. Rob, are you a Trump supporter?
Yes.
You are? Okay, hold
I
tight.
just joined and what were you saying, Hawk, about the Reagan administration?
Well, we'll get on that. Hold for 1 second, Rob, okay? Give me a second. Just to go back to your actual question earlier, it looks like the United States is leading in multiple industries that we could definitely pump a lot of money into. When you talk about going back to school, we have technology and innovation. So we look at sectors like software development, AI, which we talked about, cybersecurity, cloud computing. We talked about finance and banking, investment banking, venture capital. I mentioned healthcare, but it looks like we have a actual boom as far as trying to grow our education system within healthcare and biotechnology.
Don't forget solar, Santana.
Exactly.
Just renewables in general.
Yeah. So I mean, like, there's multiple things, and energy and sustainability, renewable energy, and of course oil and gas is there as well. But like, there's multiple actual places where we could actually pump more money into that would actually help improve. But again, to Hawk's point, it's not just about actually putting money in these actual areas. Yeah, like if we actually wanted to make any type of vast improvements, like all we need to do is have the rich people pay their fair share of taxes. That's it. Like that's simple.
That's one way to do it, right? But let me go to your energy point. I mean, we haven't turned on the pipes yet, right? Like
That's not true. That's not true.
I'm into drilling. I think
okay. How much have we drilled under the Biden administration?
How much have we drilled? I don't know the specific number.
Okay.
I think
more than any in the history of the country.
Okay. Record levels. We actually drill more than any other country in the world, including Saudi Arabia.
But doesn't that? I mean, I think we have more oil than anywhere else in the world. But
no, that's not true either.
How is that not true? Oh, somebody got
because it doesn't. It doesn't.
But hold on. But doesn't that go
doesn't work
against
that
the
way.
leftist concept of like the whole? You just mentioned global warming and all this other stuff, right? So how could you guys be for drilling, right?
Who said anything about being for drilling? We were just answering your question.
Well,
right. The fact is that the
oil and gas.
But the fact is the amount of drilling that they did was more. It's not that anybody was for it. It worked out that way. But here's the issue. You guys always seem to forget to understand that oil companies are private businesses. We don't have federalized oil in this country, right? And the type of oil that is being drilled, a lot of it is not used in this country or whatever. So those oil countries, yeah, they're drilling their butt off or whatever, and they're selling their oil overseas. We purchase a lot of our oil from overseas because that is the type of oil that we need for the products that we use, right? It's a mixture of those things. But for the United States, those are private companies, right? Those companies are not owned and run by the government. So it doesn't matter how much they drill to a certain extent because it's private. It's not ours.
Yeah. Also, the two countries that actually have more oil rich than the United States is Saudi Arabia and Canada. They have more availability to drill said oil than the United States. The United States is third. So yes, we do have a lot of potential for drilling, but we have been drilling at the highest level of any other country. So more so than Saudi Arabia and Canada, who actually has more to access.
Canada doesn't have anything but whiskey, in my opinion. Is
You want
this
to talk
a
about your opinion, or
conservative
do you want to talk about your
progressive?
you want to talk about
or
your
a,
you want to talk about your opinions, or you want to talk about facts, Rob? Which one?
It sounds like you
I'm
want to talk
just
about whiskey.
asking a question. Is this a conservative or progressive
Which one do you think, my friend?
panel that I'm on? I've
Which
only
one?
been here for like 20 seconds.
Okay. What does the background say? It's okay.
I'm gonna guess this is a progressive chat. Just if I had to do a just take a guess.
With the
The
deductive
odds
reasoning.
are is a progressive. Being
Ooh.
on
You must be a super sleuth.
TikTok.
You are a gumshoe, Rob. Yeah, listen. You can look at the background. We do have Peace God, who is this guy right here, who is a Trump supporter. And Rob, you are a Trump supporter. If you see this guy down here at the bottom, that's just my backup account. That's actually no
I'm here
one,
to back up Peace God.
Yeah. Go ahead and demonstrate something you know for us.
What do you want me to demonstrate? I know more than anybody on here except Peace God. My
Got it. Okay, cool. Hold on.
Yes, I am a
so let's wait.
Generation-
Okay, hold on, Rob. I'm gonna run you.
Generation X.
Wait, Rob. I'm gonna run you through a couple of different questions. I'm gonna ask you, just something that's super simple, super basic. How many branches of government are there?
3.
Perfect. Good job, Rob. Name those 3.
What is that?
Wait.
Like
Hold on.
your best question?
No. It's not. We're
Seriously?
building, my friend. Name those 3.
The judicial, legislative.
The what?
The judicial, the legislative,
The what?
and the executive.
Wait. What was that middle one?
Legislative.
Say it one more time for me.
Dude.
No, I miss it. Hold on, hold on one second. My
legislative.
It's my earpiece. Say it one more time.
Legislative.
Okay, cool. Before I
Did
even
I get it
wait,
right? Did I pass
kind of you? Hey, Rob, question for you. You ever took like a sobriety test?
Yes, and I passed every single one of them.
Okay, you close.
No matter how much I've had to drink, I'll pass it with flying colors.
How much have you had tonight, Rob?
Not as much as I had.
But you have had some.
Yes, I've had.
Okay, boom.
But
got it.
I haven't ever failed a sobriety test.
Okay. I actually, you know what? I believe you.
Yeah, I will. In fact, pass the sobriety test so good that they don't give me a breathalyzer test.
Okay. All right. Cool. So Rob, moving forward, can you tell me what is the powerhouse of a cell? CELL, powerhouse of a cell. Howdy, partner.
Well, I've been in a cell, and thankfully I have not gotten overpowered by my cellmate. Just saying. It wasn't actually in like the Fed or nothing. It was
in the
just a
Federal
regular
Reserve.
jail. Yeah.
It was in the Federal Reserve.
No.
I'm so confused.
Yes, you're confusing me, to be honest.
I'm confusing you. I'm sorry, my friend. I did not mean to confuse you.
What the heck kind of question was that?
It was obviously it was a tough one. Obviously it was a tough one. Obviously.
No, okay, yeah.
It was a tough one. And yeah, I was looking for the mitochondria. That's the powerhouse of a cell.
The what?
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it, Rob. Don't even worry about it.
Trust me, I'm not gonna worry about it.
Yeah, we're gonna let that one just fly right by, Rob. Guys, W's in the chat for Hilda.
By me times 1,000.
I know. W's in the chat for Hilda. Hilda sent a $5 donation saying, loving your knowledge and dedication. Thank you so much for that $5 donation, Hilda. Hilda, you rock. You're always hanging out with us. Thank you so much. W's in the chat for Christina. Christina sent a $1 donation, said, I think Rob has had some of that Canadian whiskey tonight. Was it Canadian? W's in the chat for Lamont for the boxing gloves. Rob, was it Canadian whiskey?
No.
It was American whiskey?
The U.S., yes, it was Kentuckian.
It was Kentuckian. It was definitely Kentuckian whiskey. Got it. Okay. W's in the chat for Priscilla. Priscilla sent a $5 donation saying, you better clip this, MF. Listen, you know I'm clipping them. You know this. W's in the chat for Priscilla for that $5 donation. Guys, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of the pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. If you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. We also have super chats over on YouTube. If you want to actually support the live over on YouTube, you can definitely send a super chat. Guys, keep tapping the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 350,000 likes. Let's also make sure we're taking care of Hawk while he's up here, because listen, I'm not going through Rob alone. So Hawk is at least going to be up here with me until we, finish up with Rob. Okay, Rob.
Yeah, I just became a follower of you.
Okay, W's in the chat for you. Thank you. Rob, okay, I guess I'll ask you the background question, right? Donald Trump is one of the greatest deal makers that we've had as president, right?
Yes, he has negotiated with every other bad motherfucker around the world.
Wow, that's a lot of language, Rob, but I hear you. Okay, cool. What deal is Donald Trump's best deal? Is it the deal that he made to exchange Medicaid for billionaire welfare? Was it when he actually exchanged Ukraine for Russian loyalty? We know he made a deal for the economy to get his tariffs, but we also see that he's exchanged U.S. pride for his ego, and we can't forget about the deal he made to sell the Oval Office for $290 million. So which deal was his best deal, Rob?
He sold the Oval Office
for $290 million. Yes, he did.
Well, who's the president now?
Oh, it's President Musk.
Oh, he wouldn't accept a deal like that.
That's what he did. He did.
Listen, to be joking.
Listen,
the best deal he has ever made was cutting off funding for Hamas and the terrorists.
Wait a minute. That is absolutely not true. There is no funding that went to the H group. No funding whatsoever that went to the H group. That's not true.
He cut the funding off. That's why there's no funding.
No, because there was never funding to the H group. It doesn't work that way.
Okay, then what am I thinking of?
I have no idea what you're thinking of. I genuinely don't know what you're thinking of, Rob. Rob, I swear to God, Rob, I swear to God, I could not predict your next move. I am actually pretty good at this, and I'm pretty good at talking to Trump supporters. And I swear to God, there's no way I can predict what you're about to say next. Not even a little bit. Not even a slight. Not even a chance.
Yes, I'm very unpredictable.
Yes. And, yes, you are.
You're so unpredictable, Rob. You don't know what you're gonna do next.
Yes, you're probably right, to be honest. But Anyway,
Holy smokes, what's happening?
yes,
What is happening?
there's been a lot of good deals. The Panama Canal.
What about the Panama Canal, friend?
Yes. We're not
Yes.
going to let
What
any
about it?
bad motherfuckers drive their boat. through
Okay,
the
you got to
Panama
stop
Canal.
dropping those MFs like that. Wait, we don't own the Panama Canal.
We do now.
No,
Since
we don't.
when, Rob?
Since I heard it the other day.
Since where'd you hear, Rob?
But I mean,
Wait,
in
Rob.
all
Wait,
honesty,
Rob, where'd you hear
really,
it?
in tolerance and equality, you know.
What?
Yes, I am not. People look at me, my picture, my voice, and they think I'm a racist and some shit. But I believe in tolerance and equality. And I believe it's all pink on the inside.
Rob, hold on a minute. Wait a minute, Rob. This is a family show.
Okay, but also I believe that we need to set up shop in the Gaza Strip.
Why?
So we can keep an eye on the dudes that, I mean, are you in favor of Sharia law?
What is Sharia law, Rob?
Wait, who's Sharia law?
That is Islamic.
Who is Sharia
culture.
law? Where
Sharia
can I
law.
find her?
That's where they dress their women completely covered with one eye cut out.
With one eye? What are you talking about,
No,
Rob?
I mean, if you're a
Okay,
slut, you get two
Rob,
eyes cut
okay,
out.
okay. This is what we're gonna do. Rob, do you know how to unmute yourself? If I mute you, do you know how to unmute yourself?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna
You
mute
wanna
you for a
do
minute.
the
I'm
mute
I'm
test?
just
Is that where you're
no. I
suggesting?
just want you to hang tight for me just for a minute, just for a second. So I'm gonna mute you. You just hang out there for a second. The fuck is happening? What is happening?
I don't know how much I can take.
I'm not
No,
anymore.
you're
Peace guy, please account for your people because he came up here to give you back up.
Let me just throw in that in the Middle East forum.
No.
To the point about
I passed the mute test.
to the point about the funding of terrorist groups, whether we did it
T groups.
T group. Oh, my bad, bro.
Oh my God.
But
I passed the mute test just like the field
yes, you did.
sobriety
So
test.
Go back on mute for a minute. Try it again. But that's still a disingenuous
You won't take me
statement.
down. I passed the mute test, the field sobriety test.
No, we just want to talk to Peace for a while. You go back on
What
mute and
is
hang on for a minute.
happening? Okay,
Peace,
just hold on, guys. W's in the chat for W's in the chat for Ryan over on YouTube who sent a $2 donation. Said yeah, and I believe the sky is green too. Yeah, W's in the chat for Jesse who sent a $1 donation saying, man, you always up here doing the Lord's work. Bless your heart, Jesse. I have no idea, Jesse. W's in the chat for Tyrone who sent a $5 donation saying for the Rob Recovery Forum fund. Yeah, you're absolutely right. W's in the chat for Ty or W's in the chat for Angela who said thank you for bringing Rob up. I need a comic relief. Angela, my head hurts. I genuinely have lost all control. I don't know what's going on. We live in a society. Guys, tap the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 400,000 likes. Let's get the shares up as well. Also, can we please knock out these heart hands? Also, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. If you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. And please don't forget about Hawk because he is going to need just as much ibuprofen as I'm going to need and maybe a couple of drinks as well. Make sure we're gifting Hawk. Make sure that we're hitting his pay links. They are running through the link tree. I'm going to, you know what? We're just going to go ahead and get Peace out of here because he keeps teacupping. So we're going to do that. Guys, only request up if you are a Trump supporter. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters. We are only talking to Trump supporters. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter. Brody, are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, sir. I promise we don't claim him, man. We don't claim Rob.
You said what?
We don't claim Rob.
I think Rob is the best you guys have to offer. Brody,
yeah, I'm an independent. I don't really even claim you, to be honest. Because I'm the last of the real logical thinkers on this planet. And if you align yourself with my ideas and philosophy,
I'm glad that everybody else is, getting entertainment out of this. Like I'm glad the chat, I am happy that you are getting entertainment. I'm glad that Brody up here is getting entertainment. I do not, holy smokes. W's in the chat for Jessica, who sent a $1 donation, says, please adorn your tin hat. I'm so close to actually grabbing it, Jessica. I'm so close to getting it. W's in the chat for Priscilla, who sent a $1 donation, saying, for Make It Stop, please, Santana. Listen, I
have actual tears falling down my eyes. Like, that's how hard I'm laughing.
This is insane. This is madness.
Yes, I'm hilarious.
Yeah, not in a good way, friend. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna put you back on mute. Let me talk to Brody just for a second. Brody, we do know that Trump is one of the best deal-making presidents in our history, right?
I heard the pitch, yeah.
Okay, which deal do you like? I'm so thrown off. I'm not even a front.
You good.
He's got me off my kilter.
I mean, I like the tariff war, to be honest. I know there's a lot of mixed opinions about it because like the prices of groceries have been raising, like the egg situation. But I mean, like, I don't know. I think I think it's gonna work out in the next 2 years. But I mean, it's kind of a shit show right now. But I mean, I don't know. What do you feel about the tariff war?
Well, I think that one, tariffs are inflationary. Two, they are absolutely harmful for consumers. But also, it's not going to achieve the goal that Trump is actually trying to achieve. He doesn't have any type of method to what he's doing, right?
I think I can agree with that. I don't know if I've seen like a straight, like, I feel like the order of events that are happening are like kind of random. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, that's because he thought that people were just going to back down, and then when he so the issue is that his tariffs are causing so much instability in the stock market, and it's crashing the stock market, and so all of his corporate backers are like, hey, cut it out. But then it comes into, play with his ego. And then he said, well, I said I'm going to do this. And that's why, it's like, oh, well, it's going to happen at this time. It's going to happen at this time. And then he puts them on and takes them off. And, other countries aren't backing down. So it's making things worse. And it's causing so much instability. And now it's at a point where it's ego versus what he said he was, or ego versus like what should actually be done. Because again, tariffs have a place and time, but it's not good.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll end up working itself out eventually. I think we will like he'll eventually
get
the benefit he wants, but I don't think
wait. I need to hear your logic behind why. Why do you think they're going to work out?
It will work itself out? Because I don't think Canada can obtain or can sustain that for long term. Like, I don't think they can sit in a tariff war for years.
Yeah, have you been paying attention to what they're doing in Canada?
I've been on a mission trip for the last month, so I'm like just getting back. I literally got home from Ecuador this morning. So, I mean, I'm kind of like lost when it comes to politics right now. I did my research today, but I'm a little shaky. You want to inform me?
Yeah, hold on, guys. W's in the chat for Jacob. Jacob sent a $50 donation. Massive W's for Jacob, and Jacob did call out that there's an impersonator scammer with an extra S. Yes, I do know that. We've been reporting that certain people have been making fake cash apps of me, and yeah, that's absolutely not me. So guys, if you're gonna send a donation, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio, and they're all gonna be Santana Speaks, just like this on the screen. Santana Speaks 24, Santana Speaks 24. There's no multiple S's or anything like that. You can click the link in the link tree. You can send it directly to Santana Speaks 24. but there are no multiple S's. There's none of that. So yeah, W's in the chat for Jacob for that $50 donation. You're awesome. Also, W's in the chat for Priscilla, who sent a $1 donation, said they're crashing the market on purpose to buy cheap. Yes. The answer is yes. You're absolutely right. Also, W's in the chat for W's in the chat for Ryan, who sent a $2 donation saying, boss, what do you think of the new Newsom Charlie Kirk podcast? I haven't gotten a chance to listen to it yet. There's definitely been some things came out of it. Say it again.
Yeah, everybody's in the chat for me, and I'm back by popular demand. Since every
Okay.
I'm gonna mute you as well because I was in the middle of a sentence. But yeah, I haven't had an opportunity to actually listen to it yet. There's definitely been some buzzworthy things that came out of it, but we're gonna get into it and I'll listen to it. But yeah, guys, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24, best way to support the live. Make sure we're taking care of Hawk, who is up here on the panel. Make sure that we are gifting Hawk, and his pay links are in the link tree in the bio. If you guys don't stop saying W Rob in the chat, because you guys are going to do nothing but start him up. You guys are starting trouble.
To that point, real quick, W's to Angela for sending $5. Thank you, Angela.
W's in the chat for Angela. Guys, let's make sure we take care of Hawk. And again, can we knock out these heart hands? Because we've been on heart hands for a long time. We only have like 7 of those to knock out. Brody, go ahead, my friend.
Yeah, I got you. What's it called? On that Charlie Kirk
Oh, wait.
thing,
No. I'm sorry. That's what you were saying. You were saying what's been happening in Canada. Yeah. So
I'm not very like updated on the whole situation.
Yeah.
For sure.
Thank you guys for knocking that out. Yeah, it's been a back and forth. Canada has not backed down, but Canada has reacted in force in multiple ways where they have taken U.S. alcohol off the shelves. And we do know that Canada actually imports a ton of alcohol from the U.S., specifically targeting those red states that actually manufacture that alcohol. But they've also implemented retaliatory tariffs, which they are not taking off, even though Donald Trump has taken the 25% hike off. But they're also threatening to cut off power to the United States, because we do know that Canada actually supplies a large amount of power to the United States. And they are now actually instituting an additional tax for any of U.S. trucks that are driving through Canada for oil production, or U.S. trucks driving through Canada as well. So they are actually, Canadians are pissed. Like Canadians are pissed, and they have actually created a united front, and they are not playing games.
So how do you
yeah, they did. Yeah, they got rid of their Starlink contract too. I forgot. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yep, sure did.
How do you think it will end up like turning out per se? Like, let's say we go 6 months in the future. What do you think would be like the end result?
I genuinely don't know. I don't. I mean, because the simple fact of the matter is like we negotiated the USMCA, and like that was negotiated under Trump. Like we already had something in place, I'm like, I don't think that you treat your allies this way and you actually try to, harm them to get what you want. So I genuinely don't know. Hawk, what do you think?
Somebody just said it in a chat. A lot of people are going to be hurt.
Yeah, in the US and Canada. Yep.
Yes, that's what's going to happen. I mean, look at it from here. These tariffs, as they continue, are going to increase prices. There are people now that are living paycheck to paycheck. If these prices increase too much, they're not going to be able to afford to live at all. They're attacking Medicaid. So people that are already low income and rely on Medicaid for their health services, they're going to be in trouble, right? Those are just a couple of things that he's going to do to devastate the population of this country.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I'm not very updated on the situation, so I'll have to look into that a bit later. But I don't know. I have a feeling that it might just end up working itself out, but I think it's gonna be a while. I don't know.
I just like I would love to know why though you feel optimistic about that. I'm not even pushing back on you saying that it's gonna work its way out. I'm just saying, why do you feel like it's actually gonna, like, what gives you that confidence that it's actually gonna work itself out?
Sorry, the kissing just threw me off. My bad. What's it called? But I don't know. I don't vote on like that kind of reason. Like when I voted, it was because of other other more reasons. We can talk about that later. But I mean, my views are very leveling, so I bet you can get where I'm going with that. But
we don't rely on Canada for anything except hockey.
Rob Hush.
Yes.
We don't. I promise you, we do not claim him.
I don't get my power from Canada. I'm pulling my.
So the question I would have for you, Brody, is because I think you described it relatively accurately, right? I don't know about the it'll eventually get better part, but it's going to be a while. The question is how many people are going to suffer while we're waiting on it to get better?
I mean,
that's the question I think you should be
I would agree. I think that is the question to ask. And obviously, I don't think there's anything we can do about it now. It's like we're voting again in a month from now. So it's going to be able to change the outcome of what happens. I don't even remember him really talking about this when he was running, like campaigning. Like, did y'all remember him campaigning on this at all?
On what, tariffs?
Oh no, having a tariff war of Canada. I know he's gonna.
He said he was gonna put tariffs on everybody. He said universal tariffs on everyone.
And here's the thing, Brody, that y'all didn't pay attention to, even though we were screaming to high heavens. Agenda 47 and Project 2025. And this is the result of both of those things. And we told y'all.
Agenda 47 was a watered down version.
Right.
I mean, I would agree. I don't think we can argue whether he so stated Project 2025 or not. But I mean,
well, there's no need to argue that one. He is.
I mean, he's stated he hasn't, but
yeah, but literally as soon as he got elected, not only has he enacted multiple policies directly pulled from Project 2025
and Agenda 47 are intercorrelated. So
yeah, it's a watered down version of it. If you look at Agenda 47, it's very much like, not a lot of anything, but Project 2025, he's implemented multiple things from Project 2025 and hired people that actually specifically wrote Project 2025.
And if you want proof that he lied about Project 2025, he did a speech at a Heritage Foundation meeting about two and a half years ago, where he said that they were the greatest thing next to sliced bread. I'm paraphrasing, obviously, and that they were writing our agenda. He said that about 2.5 years ago. So if he knew that 2.5 years ago, how is he saying now that he doesn't know anything about Project 2025? He lied.
I mean, I would agree.
Wait, this is interesting. This is interesting.
Hey, Santana, do you know who the real Santana is in my world?
Who
Carlos Santana.
Yep.
Yes.
That's a thing, Rob. That's definitely a thing, Rob. That's definitely a thing, Rob.
Oh God.
W's in the chat for Erica. Erica just sent me something super interesting on the back end. I've never seen this before, but there's a Project 2025 observer where you can actually see the progress of the items that were actually listed out in Project 2025, where it tracks how many days is left in Trump's term, like days, hours, minutes, seconds, and it tracks the actual progress of how much has been implemented from Project 2025 to by the Trump administration. And so there's multiple. No, I'm looking at it on my computer.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But it's if you want to look at it, is www.project2025.observer.
Okay.
And it gives a breakdown of like all the different categories, all the different executive orders inactive, all of these other things. But it talks about like the agencies that are listed in Project 2025 that should be closed. And it talks about also progress is set to be made. And it looks like, thank you for the balloons. There's 6 objectives within the U.S. aid that they wanted to complete that was outlined in Project 2025, and they've hit all 6 of those things. 100% of what they said in Project 2025 about U.S. aid, they've already done. So yeah, like it's absolutely astounding. Let me read these couple off real quick, and then we'll get right back into it, guys. W's in the chat for Chastity. Chastity sent a $5 donation saying, "I adore you. I work nights and listen to you all." Thank you so much for that $5 donation. Thank you so much for listening, Chastity. You are absolutely amazing. W's in the chat for Jesse. Jesse sent a $1 donation saying, so he's saying that he didn't hear anything about this before the election. Don't act naive, dude. You heard all about this and you ignored it. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what a lot of them did.
I'm 18, so I mean, I'm not extremely like, as I said, I've been on a mission trip for the last month. I was actually on a month before the election too, so it was kind of a bad time period for me. So I'm not going to say I'm the most informed Republican ever, but I mean,
so you recently graduated from high school. You graduated last summer.
No, I'm a senior in high school.
You're a senior in high school as we speak.
Yep.
Are you taking any civics classes?
In Texas, civics classes aren't required anymore.
Of course not.
And there it is.
Guys, we're gonna get more people up here as well. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter. Let me read the rest of these off. W's in the chat for Christina, who sent a $2 donation saying, "I need Rob to please explain to us what's happening with the Panama Canal." Come on, Santana, you need to laugh too, man. He ran. I don't know what happened to Rob, but I hope he's drinking water. Rob, thank you for the balloons. Rob, wherever you are, please drink some water. Jeez, Louise, please drink water.
His beer bottle fell over and hit the eject button.
Howdy, partner. It had to. It absolutely had to. W's in the chat for Jay, who sent a $1 donation saying, please thank Daniel Gabe from King, or please wait, hold on. Oh, hold on. Please thank Dale Gribble from King of the Hill for his appearance. Listen, maybe you're absolutely right. I got that one. W's in the chat for Emma, who sent a $5 donation saying, Santana, you're my favorite debater on TikTok. I would love to hear you debate my MAGA dad. He's a good guy, but he's brainwashed by Fox. Get him on. Tell him get in the box. Emma, tell your dad to get in the box. We can debate. W's in the chat for Julie. Julie sent a $10 donation saying, thanks for always having a smile. Absolutely, you know it. Thank you so much for that donation, Julia. W's in the chat for Clinton, who sent a $5 donation saying, how do people not remember when Trump made video version of Project 2025? He made multiple videos. It's all propaganda. W's in the chat for Emmanuel, who sent a $1 donation saying it's a 30-day extension on the 25% tariffs on automakers. Yeah, he's just going to keep kicking the can down the road because he's scared to actually back out and look weak. I mean, that's what it is. Yeah, guys, thank you all for the donations, guys. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. All of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. If you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. If you're watching over on YouTube, you can definitely donate through super chats, and I will read those out as well. Guys, also, please make sure we're taking care of Hawk. Hawk is right here. This is Hawk. He's right here. Make sure we're gifting Hawk, but also his pay links are running in the poll. It's up in the corner. Check out the poll. Let's show Hawk some love while he's up on the panel. Guys, there's people in the box, but if you are not a Trump supporter, please do not request up. We are only talking to Trump supporters. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters. We are only talking to Trump supporters. So only request up if you are a Trump supporter. If you are not a Trump supporter, please drop out of the box. If you are a Trump supporter and you want to come up, go ahead and hop in the box. We will get you in here. Also, someone said Dan Raid. Welcome in, Dan Raid. All right. Hawk.
I'm here.
Any thank yous or anything that you want to go?
Not since the last one, no, sir.
Really, chat? Really, chat?
They are right. They are.
Yeah. Robbie, are you a Trump supporter?
He's silly. That's what I'm gonna call it.
You gonna call us what, Robbie? Robbie, you know you up on the panel in front of 1,600 people, right? Robbie, we're talking to you.
I think they drunk.
No, not Robbie. I don't think Robbie realized they were up here. We're gonna go ahead and drop Robbie down. We're gonna drop Robbie down. I don't think Robbie realized that they were up here. Guys, keep tapping the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 400,000. Like Just Joe, are you a Trump supporter?
Yes.
All right, wonderful. Just Joe, got a question for you, my friend.
Yep.
Which one of Donald Trump's deal was his best deal that he made? Was it the deal that he made when he traded Medicaid for billionaire welfare? Was it the deal where he traded Ukraine for Russian loyalty? We know
That
for a
one
fact
right
that he
there.
actually.
Get rid of Ukraine.
I'm
Get
sorry.
rid of it.
Wait, hold on. You interrupted me. I couldn't hear what you were saying because I was still talking. What did you say?
Get rid of Ukraine altogether. Let Russia just take it over. Just get rid
What?
of them. They need to be exonerated. They need to be. There's so much.
Do you know what
bad-
exonerated means?
Either we don't claim
Just
him
get rid
either.
of them. Just let Russia take over them. Let Putin just give him like.
Okay, so this is what we're not gonna do, right? So hey, Brody, I know you said you've been gone for a while, right? There's something else that's been happening. Since you have been gone, we have Russian bots, right? Paid actors.
Really? That's
Yeah.
crazy. Wow.
Like no, like seriously, like it's a real thing that's happening on TikTok. There are a lot of Russian bots and paid actors,
Yeah,
like
there's a
Just
lot of
Joe,
paid
who comes
actors on
up
the
here
Democrats
and
too.
actually come up here and they spout pro-Russian propaganda, but
Yeah,
they're not actually like they're real people, but they're paid to do this. So people like Joe, it's so weird. It's so weird.
I think it is beneficial to have like to be on terms with Russia. I don't think it's at the cost of Ukraine though. Like I think going like obviously I think they're one of the only countries in the world that can actually like meet us at firepower, but I don't know if like how they're handling it at the moment is the way to do it. Because I mean, have you all seen the Zelensky thing? The letter he sent to Trump I think it was a few days ago. But
did you see when they
I
were
watched the
met in
interview,
the
yeah.
Oval Office last week?
Yeah, I watched the interview. It
And
was
what did you think
embarrassing
of
on
that?
both sides, to be honest.
Yeah, but it was
Y'all
more
kill
so
me with this
embarrassing
both
because
sides
of what we
stuff.
did in our like our president. Like it was absolutely insane. Let me W's in the chat for Pressure Duck, who sent out a subscription over on Twitch to Shinobi the Lefty. W's in the chat for Pressure Duck. Thank you for that. Yeah, no, it was a really bad look for the president of the United States to actually do that to an ally, a war hero, someone who is literally fighting for the lives of their actual
I think live streaming
their
was an
people.
interesting choice as well. Like, I feel like that was an unneeded part of it. Like, why would you want to do it on live? Of all
But
things,
that's something that they do, right? I mean,
Yeah.
like you have international you have heads of state, they come in. It's like it wasn't supposed to be like that. It wasn't supposed to be like the madness that ensued. It definitely wasn't supposed to be like that.
yeah, I got that vibe too. I mean, when I was watching it, just felt like out of place. I mean, like just how they ran it. I don't know how to describe it, but do you know what I'm
But
saying?
you also realize that they didn't have any regular media in there. The only media that was allowed in was
Was
right-wing
Trump's,
media.
yeah.
You know that, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know.
Also that a Russian state news made it in.
Yeah,
They did?
how'd they
Wow.
get
Yeah, in the Oval Office, Russia state news, Russia state media made it into the Oval Office.
But the AP couldn't be there.
I think like on the terms of it being good for like our relationship with Russia, I think that's true. But I mean, I don't know why we're doing it. Like, I think it's going to affect our position in NATO as well.
But even to that point, though, unless Russia has done something to improve their profile, why the hell do we want to be in a relationship with Russia?
Exactly.
I feel like they're like one of the countries that poses like a threat to the U.S. in a sense of like, I mean, firepower, manpower. I mean,
They really don't though, and I don't want.
Are they not?
I don't want to speak too deep on this or whatever, but they really don't, and that's the issue, right?
Yeah.
Are they a
You think they
threat?
don't?
Absolutely, they are a threat, especially to the immediate area around them, mainly Europe, right? They are a threat. Are they a direct threat to us? Not really. And so,
I mean, I
again,
think they're a
unless
direct
they-
threat to our allies.
Okay, but that's why we have allies. But guess what? What your president is doing, we're losing those allies because Trump is trying to get in bed with Putin instead of agreeing with them. So now our allies are looking at us sideways, going, "What the hell are y'all doing?"
Absolutely.
What other?
Hold on one
what's
second.
in
Hold on
other
a second,
than
guys. Hold
Russia
on a
and
second.
China?
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Bryce, are you a Trump supporter?
I did vote for him, yeah. So
Okay, hold tight for 1 second here. Hawk, you got it for a second. I'll be right back.
All right. And real quick before we continue, what you got?
No, you got it.
I was gonna say real quick before we continue. W's to Adela in the chat, please. W's to Adela sent $10 for our service and education. We can only try, right? The education will only work if it's received on the other side. Anyway, what were we talking about, Brody?
We're talking about like the threat that Russia poses to the U.S. So, I mean, name a country other than Russia or China? What country do you think like the third biggest threat to the U.S. is?
So again, let me try to clarify what I'm saying to you, and for clear transparency for you, I'm a 26-year veteran, right?
Yeah.
So I live this stuff and I study this stuff or whatever. Again, I'm not saying that Russia on the whole is not a threat, but they're not the threat that they make themselves out to be. They almost have never been, at least since the middle of the Cold War back in the 60s and 70s. They haven't been a threat for decades, right?
I mean, I think they're the biggest threat when it comes to like nuclear war. I think that's another part of it. Of like,
and again, for Europe, that's an issue, and we absolutely don't want that. Which is one of the reasons why we were supporting Ukraine, because if that's what they call kind of a proxy war, right? By us supporting
they get Ukraine,
letting them do the fighting with us, not having to have troops on the ground or whatever.
Yeah, and
still hurting Russia, which we have done, because they've been. If they were the big badasses that you think they are,
we think they are. They would have already
taken
taken over
Ukraine. Years and they've made little progress on Ukraine.
For sure,
right? So that's the thing we got to look at. When they first started, they had brand new, fresh troops. I mean, not seasoned soldiers, but newly recruited, right out of the recruiting office, right out of boot camp, and right on the front lines in Ukraine. That's why they've been getting their butts beat, or at least being fought to a good standstill for the last 3 years. Right?
I mean, I think if Russia wanted to win the war, I think they already would have.
No, if they could have
absolutely
won
not.
the war, they already would have. That's the difference.
I mean, if they
would have,
wanted to take over fully, just take over Ukraine and not worry about the like what the repercussions of that would be. Don't you think they would have the power to? Like, you think?
Are you talking about using nuclear force?
Right.
Yeah, like if they wanted
to
dominate Ukraine.
But here's the thing: the only way they could do that is what Santana just said. The only way they could do that is what Santana just said, is with using the big threat, right? The nuclear threat. If they did that, everybody else is going to go against them. And now we're talking WW3, and it ain't gonna be pretty for anybody, but especially Russia.
Yeah,
including
their allies, which their allies has already said that.
Just to get Ukraine. Like, do you generally think that they like their only goal here is just to get the land of Ukraine and then not
it's to reestablish the greatness of the USSR. Putin's already said
exactly. And he said it, exactly.
Sure. I mean,
when he started this 3 years ago, he said his goal before he unalives, right, is to put the USSR back together.
And
which nobody wants. Except
him. If he gets Ukraine, you think he would stop there?
No, that's the whole point.
Mm-hmm. No, I know the answer to the question. You don't gotta but I'm just saying, what do you think would end up happening? Let's say he takes Ukraine by nuclear force. What would be the result of that?
With nuclear force?
If he uses nuclear,
yeah.
If he uses nuclear in any way, shape, or form, everybody else is going to be against him.
Exactly.
So that's a absolute last resort, which is why they're being fought to a standstill. Now they know they can't use that, right? But let's say they won by conventional methods and they took Ukraine. Who's next? Poland? Czechoslovakia? I mean, so
Poland.
that's a problem. That's a problem. We don't want.
And then when it gets to Poland, I think that's when the US
hold on. I saw someone say, Hawk, you have Cash App, right?
Yes.
It's in the poll. If you take a look, there's a blue link at the top. If you take a click on the link, and you'll see his Cash App in the poll in the link. Sorry, go ahead.
So if he got let's say he takes over Ukraine. Poland's an ally of the US, correct? They're in NATO.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So do you think once I think that's kind of what happened originally was that Ukraine was not officially in NATO, and
they still aren't.
What?
They still are not.
Yeah, I mean they're not in NATO, and that's why there wasn't much involvement. I think when it came to if they ever got to the point where they were invading Poland, I think that's when it would be a full-on.
Okay, but you're missing a bunch of things. First of all, there was a lot of support, and there still is a lot of support, except from us, but not because they're in NATO, but because of the Budapest Memorandum. Have you heard anybody talking about that?
I've not heard those words before.
Actually, listen, let me just read this off because this is actually perfect. Because W's in the chat for Pressure Duck over on Twitch, who just sent 100 bits, and the comment was, I think the worst thing that Trump thinks Ukraine the worst thing is that Trump thinks Ukraine owes us a thank you. We made a deal and Ukraine did their job. They gave up their nukes, and now it's our turn to uphold our agreement. W's in the chat for Pressure Duck for the 100 bits
100%.
over on Twitch. Literally, like a perfect alley-oop.
Yep. And so you understand this, Brody, before you were born, back in 1994, there was something called the Budapest Memorandum that was signed off on by us, Russia, and I believe the UK, and another European country or whatever, right? At the time, they were trying to shrink the nuclear footprint around the world, right? So all of these places like Iran and stuff like that had nuclear weapons or nuclear stockpiles or whatever, we were trying to get them to get rid of those. Ukraine was one that they did because they used to be a part of the USSR. When the USSR broke up and Ukraine became a sovereign country, they still had all of that nuclear stuff. So at the time of this agreement, they had the third largest nuclear stockpile in the world. And these Western countries went to them and says, look, you give up your nuclear weapons and we know you'll be defenseless at that point. If anybody messes with you, we got your back. And Russia was also in on that agreement. 10 years later, 20 years later. 20 years later, Russia breaks the deal and they attack and they take back Crimea from Ukraine.
Yeah. Hold on one second, guys. Nobody. Are you a Trump supporter?
That's Russian.
Kick him.
Drop that.
Kick him.
It's fun. I'm actually. Yeah, I was actually doing something. It's there we go. Let's see here. Hazel, are you a Trump supporter? Hazel girl, are you a Trump supporter? Hazel girl? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and drop you down. Guys, only request up if you are a Trump supporter. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter. Michael, are you a Trump? Oh, Michael is gone. What is happening here? Only request up if you are a Trump supporter, guys. All right. So I guess, listen, we've been talking about Russia for a while. Right. And I think like I get it, but I'm kind of over like the whole Russia talk. Like it's insane. I mean, I think to kind of bottom line it and Hawk hit it on the head. Right. We made an agreement. We made an agreement to actually protect Ukraine if they gave up their nukes. They gave up their nukes. We just need to hold up our end of the agreement. Donald Trump is someone who doesn't care about breaking contracts or agreements. And that's not like literally he's showing this even with this tariff war. He's trying to break agreements that he created as well. And like, that's not how any of this works. It's absolutely insane.
I 100% what you're saying. If we're changing topics, do you mind the AB topic at all? Or are you fully against that?
I wouldn't necessarily want to talk about AB because I think the women should have complete control. Hey, thank you for the coral. Complete control of their bodies and bodily autonomy.
It's not when I refer to the topic, it's not more about like the actual like AB itself. It's more about like in relevance to Kamala Harris being able to like get reinstall Roe vs. Wade. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, we know that like in order to do that, it would have had been codified. That's different. I mean, we know that she was more so looking to actually institute protections to make sure there was no nationwide ban instituted.
Yeah.
And that's the actual direction that this administration is heading. So that's not something I would really, again, talking about AB is not something that I would really want to talk about.
That's fair.
I mean, I could, but I was just looking to see if I had any anyone that I felt comfortable with. Yeah, felt comfortable with bringing up and having that conversation. But I didn't necessarily see any of my content creator friends watching. And so I don't.
And for me personally, that has a big part of why I voted the way I did. So I mean, but I respect you for not wanting to talk about that. So but I'm down for anything, to be honest. I don't really care.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, As sure. Hold on one second. Guys, keep tapping the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 400,000 likes. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 400,000 likes. Tap, tap, tap the screen. Corey. Hey, Corey. Corey.
Santana, I'm trying to. I think there's something weird with my audio.
Oh, okay. Guys, as Corey works on her audio, just want to remind everybody, hey, make sure you follow me on all the socials, right? Blue Sky, Twitch, YouTube, and Instagram. Make sure you're following me on all the socials, especially if you're over on YouTube. I need YouTube, guys. I need you to lock in for me. Tap the screen. Do all the wonderful things over on YouTube. Let's get it going over on YouTube specifically. If you are a Trump supporter, request up. If you are someone that supports Donald Jimothy Trump, get in the box. Get in the box.
Is that his middle name? Jimothy?
It is. His mama named him Jimothy. Yep, his mama named him Jimothy. I'm gonna call him Jimothy. So yeah.
That's crazy.
Absolutely.
I did not know that.
Absolutely.
You learn every day.
Yep. You learn something new every day. Corey, you ready?
Real quick, Santana, I got a couple.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Hawk. No, you're good. Go ahead. Go ahead, Hawk.
Go ahead, Hawk.
Yeah, just real quick, throw these out. W's to Adela, sent $10. I don't know if I said that one before or not, but then there was another bigger one. Jacob, big W's to Jacob, sent $50. W's to Jacob in the chat, please. Thank you very much, Jacob.
Massive W's in the chat for Jacob. That's what I'm talking about, Jacob. Make sure we keep the W's going for Jacob. Make sure we keep the W's going for Jacob.
You're mean, bro. His middle name's not Jimothy.
His mama named him Jimothy. I'm gonna call him Jimothy.
Bro, John, man, I knew something felt off about it. I was like, Jimothy does not sound right. I was thinking through my head. It's like, that does not sound right.
Yeah. Corey, are you ready?
Took me for stupid.
So we got Corey up here. Corey is gonna have that AB conversation with you.
Okay, got you. So, Corey, part of the reason I voted the way I did was because I think what Kamala was saying she was going to do was just impossible. I think one of the main things she was preaching was that she was able to recodify Roe versus Wade, which was not going to happen. Let's be honest. She didn't.
When did she say that?
She was probably gonna, that was literally on her agenda in her website. In her website, you can find it.
Oh no!
I mean, I don't know how to pull it up on my phone. Do you want to go look for it?
Yeah, I'm gonna go look for it. You can keep talking to Corey.
That was like, all right, got you. But I think that's one of the main things she was running on was the fact that she was gonna protect that right, and I just don't see how she was able to do that. Like, could you kind of inform me more on what you think she would have done to protect the ability for women to have ABs or etc.?
Well, I don't think it's really my responsibility to inform you more, but what I will do is ask you why that's relevant to you. It's not your rights that are being put at risk here, and at the very least, she would have prevented or attempted to prevent furthering the dismantling of my rights in this country.
You don't think she would have done anything to actually help it? It would have just
also quick fact check, quick Googles proves what was said. There's an NPR article that specifically talks about what Kamala Harris said. Kamala Harris never said that she was going to codify it into law. What she said is that she would support eliminating the filibuster that would actually eliminate the filibuster makes it so there's a 60 vote threshold to pass the legislation.
Okay, gotcha.
And so she was in favor of eliminating the filibuster, which means that they could have passed with a vote of 51 to 49 or 51 to 50 if it was like a tie, whatever. But yeah, so she was in favor of actually eliminating the filibuster, which would have made a pathway for them to actually, yes, get it passed into law. But it wasn't her just like reinstituting Roe or anything like that.
All right, that's on me then. I'm sorry for misinforming.
On top of that, the risk of leaving it to the states. I'm lucky enough to live in a state where I know that my rights in that regard are protected, but there are women in this country where that can't say the same thing, and it's about to. It could very well get worse. Like with your vote, you have given our government the opportunity to further dismantle our rights. Like,
I'm going to be completely honest
how
now.
you think that if that was the
Mhm.
biggest reason why you voted for Trump.
Well, I prefer a national AB ban, like
Why?
at a federal level. That's just my opinion.
Why do you think that you have a say over my rights?
Yeah,
I mean,
and hold
that's
on
my
before
preference, but-
you answer that. Let me just throw this out because this is in a line. I want you to answer Corey's question, but this might actually give a little bit more to you as far as being able to answer. W's in the chat for Christina. Christina sent a $2 donation. Said, "I want to know why Christian anti-AB voters choose to vote for the devil Trump in order to quote save the babies. It boggles my mind." So answer Corey's question.
Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't call Trump the devil, but I mean, we can talk about that later. So Corey, can you restate your question one more time? Sorry.
Yeah, what in your mind gives you any say over my rights? Like, why would you support a national AB ban for something
Because I believe a fetus is a baby. I believe they are well, it's more about like the weak kind of talk with me, but I mean, I think there's no situation other than the not the 3 R's, but R, I, and what's it called?
Grape, incest,
yeah,
3 exceptions.
Yeah, the 3 exceptions. I don't think there's any other reason that there would need to be a need
So
for AB.
and Corey, please, if you want to just tell me to shut up, but Corey, I need you to understand. First of all, you haven't even completed your secondary education yet, and this takes a lot of knowledge, right? You don't have scientific knowledge, you do not have medical knowledge to back up the things that you just said. But here's the main issue for me: it's a constitutional issue, and I think the Supreme Court was 1,000% wrong. Right? Because giving it back to the states is unconstitutional, because the 14th Amendment says equal protection under the law. Now, women in those red states that are passing these archaic ass laws do not have equal protection. If you made it a national ban, like you're talking about, women would not have equal protection to men. It's unconstitutional.
You also don't have a standing even under the Bible book. Even the Bible book tells you how to have ABs, and they talk about unaliving an unborn child is a property crime, not an actual murder. So like there's that.
Those doesn't really apply.
Yeah, I hear you, but they do. Hold on one second, Corey. I'm gonna let you go. Hold on one second, Patrick. Are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, hold tight 1 second, Patrick. Go ahead, Corey.
So it's interesting to me that you came up here and you really wanted to talk about AB and Kamala, who's clearly not. I don't see Kamala's name on the background. She's not in office. And then you said that the biggest reason why you voted for Trump was because Kamala couldn't do the things that she said she wanted to do.
Yep.
And then it comes out, well, actually, I do support this super archaic. I just want to point out how disingenuous that was. And I want to know, did you come up here to proselytize? Or did you come up
how
here
is
to
that?
debate?
So
It sounds
before you insult me
no,
without
I'm going to finish speaking, okay? I'm going to finish speaking.
whatever you say, man.
Yeah. So it's interesting to me that you came up here for that reason and have changed your stance.
It's not changed your stance at all. But keep going, I guess.
Well, your original statement was that you voted for him because Kamala made promises.
I said part of the reason I voted for him
and then
is
you
because
said
she
you
was
supported a national AB ban, which means that that was never a purpose for you voting for him. You knew that the potential was there, and you liked it. You liked the idea that that there's an opportunity here to further control women in this country.
So
And you just didn't want to say
support
those
a
words.
national AB ban.
Well, also to be fair, he also said that he's not an informed voter, right? He admitted that he doesn't really know much about the policies. He didn't hear a lot about it a lot. So Corey, I mean, it might be giving him a little bit too much credit to think that's actually what it was.
But Corey, back to answering what you're saying. I think there was a lot of political reforms that were needed to be done, and I don't think Kamala would have gotten any of them done. I think it would have turned into like the back half of their of Biden's not run, what was it called, of his term, where basically Republicans are doing whatever they can to basically prevent any legislation from being passed. Like they issued the border, for example. There was a bill, the Lankford bill, that could have come out that would have benefited the situation. Instead, Republicans just turned into like they had the majority, so they just canceled the bill and killed it.
After they led that bill, but who led the charge for it?
I'm agreeing with you, Santana. I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying that I think that's what a Kamala's term would have been. It's just every time we pass legislation, it would have turned into killing.
But Brody,
That's
you
interesting.
missed.
Go ahead, Todd.
I'm sorry. That's all right. You missed a bigger part of it, though, Brody. During the Biden administration, they passed more landslide legislation than has been passed since at least Johnson, maybe even FDR. So yes, that one last bill that they tried to get through that was bipartisan that should have went through had it not been for Trump, right? But they passed a lot. They passed the PACT Act, the Chip and Science Act. They passed like 5 different bills that were important to the prosperity of the entire country during that administration.
But that's
so has she been a continuation?
Last bill is basically
has she been a continue? Hold on a second. Had she been a continuation of the Biden administration, we might have got 3, 4, 5 more bills passed, right?
Okay, well,
you're focusing on that one thing.
Is
what
that
about
wrong?
the 6 things that got passed?
Can I just point out, as Trump said, we don't need the legislation to secure the border.
We don't need what?
We don't need legislation to secure the border. All we need is a president.
Why don't we need legislation to secure the border? That's insane. We need legislation for everything, because if we don't have legislation, then nothing holds up. That's insane.
Our border crossings down or up under this administration in just 45
days.
They've
been down since the Biden administration, sir. And let me remind you of this.
Right now,
let me remind you of this. When Reagan gave amnesty to all of those people back in the 80s that are now basically DACA and stuff or whatever, when he gave that amnesty at that time, he employed
amnesty. There wouldn't be DACA.
I'm still talking, sir. I'm still talking. He employed Congress.
Hey, Patrick, one at a time.
When Reagan gave amnesty to all those undocumented back in the 80s, he implored Congress to come up with a legal path, a quicker path for citizenship. They've been blowing this off and going back and forth talking crap for the last 50 years, right? So legislation is what's needed, because the legislation that's on the books now, that where they're coming here legally, although y'all don't get that because you don't read or whatever, that was mostly passed in the 50s with a couple of updates in the 80s. We need new legislation to decide how we're going to actually do it. Right now, the stuff that you guys think is illegal is not illegal.
The asylum process has been totally exploited by NGOs and the federal government.
What's the asylum process?
The asylum process exploited by the NGOs.
No. What's the asylum process?
They're here and granted asylum.
No. What's the asylum process? What is the process of claiming asylum?
They don't qualify, and that's why they're.
What is the process of claiming asylum?
They're exploiting it.
What is
what he's saying to you, Patrick, is if you can't explain what it is, you can't knock it down. Tell us what you think the asylum process actually is.
Thank you. Just like during the Obama administration, he was called the porter in chief.
What is the asylum of? How do you claim asylum? What is the process?
Do you think because they crossed the border?
Patrick, how do you claim asylum?
Well, typically under previous administrations, it was from your state or country in which
No, stop.
you lived with.
Stop,
and
It's not from people who live in the U.S., Patrick.
Stop. Patrick,
Hey,
I'm going
hey.
to help you.
Hey,
Patrick, listen to
if
me.
you come
Listen to me
from
for a
Mexico,
second.
you
Patrick,
can seek
listen.
asylum here, but you can't come from
Listen to me for a
Guatemala.
second, Patrick.
Yes, you can.
Patrick.
Yes, you can.
Patrick, listen
No,
to
you
me for a
can't. That's
second.
not how
I'm
it
going to
I
help
don't
you.
claim him either.
Yes,
Hold
it
on.
is.
No,
Patrick.
everybody, hold on 1 second. Give me a second, Hawk. Give me a second, Brody.
No, you're trying to you're
Patrick,
trying to do semantics. and I'm
Patrick.
trying
No,
to
no, no,
tell
no.
you
Patrick.
This is not how the
Patrick,
process is
Patrick,
supposed to work.
Patrick. If you don't know what the asylum process is, go look it up. Go look it up because you're speaking on something that you don't know how it works. You think that you know how it works.
What I do know
No,
is
you
they're all
don't.
going to be sent back.
No, you don't. No, because Donald Trump has been doing catch and release because he doesn't have an actual process to deport people because numbers for deportations are lower than they were under the Biden administration. Again, Patrick, I need you to go look up the asylum process and then you can teacup, take a second. We still have Brody on the panel. I need you to understand what the asylum process is and how it works. And then we can continue with that part of the conversation. But if you don't know, then you don't get to talk about it because you're not speaking from a place of actual understanding or intelligence. You're speaking from a place of your feelings and your tum-tum, and I don't care about your feelings.
This is why I claim not
Patrick,
to be.
I'm a little nicer than Santana. Hold on, Brody. Patrick, I'm a little nicer than Santana. I'm going to tell you where to look. Look up 8 USC
But you
1158.
do recognize it was Biden that implemented catch and release, not Trump.
Listen, Patrick, I'm trying to help you. Look up 8 USC. Patrick, I'm trying to help you, Patrick. Look up 8 USC 1158.
All you guys have to do
Google
is
that.
use common sense.
No,
Google
go look
the
it
law,
up.
Patrick.
Go look it up.
Google the law.
What's the border?
Go look it up.
We don't claim him either.
Corey, Brody, you guys can finish your conversation.
Okay. But Corey, I think it comes down to more like what happened?
Go ahead. You're good. Keep going.
Okay. For me at least, God, Patrick, please just look up the website they're telling you to. I have an idea what the definition of asylum is, but I'm definitely not going to talk about it when I don't know the full definition. So go search it up and then come back. Like, for the love of God,
He doesn't even have to leave. He can teacup. He just needs to stop trying to come off mute because he's crashing out. All you have to do is teacup, go look it up, and then come back. Stop crashing out. Just swipe out for a second. Stay on the panel. Swipe out for a second. Go look up the actual code and then come back.
Patrick, they're not going to let you speak until you know the definition. So go look it up, teacup, and then come back. So they're hard. Oh my God. You're not going to win the unmute war. They literally have to press one button. You have to press 3 to unmute yourself. Like, oh my Lord.
Go ahead, Brody.
You're good. But Corey, I think that's murder. I'm going to be honest. That's just me. I think even at any week, I think it's murder. I only believe in the 3 exceptions. You're not going to be able to change my belief on that. So, you were saying I was being disingenuous. I was just saying I think it would have been a continuation of what happened of the last bill, and I don't think a lot of good legislation would have been able to be passed. But I mean, I think Hawk got on a good point there. He was saying something about how she was only able to pass 5 bills, or they were able to pass 5 bills throughout the presidency in the 4 years. What makes you think 5 bills is a lot, like a 4-year span?
How many has the Republicans passed since they've been in power?
I think it's either been 0 or 1. Am I incorrect on that?
Right, which is ridiculously nothing.
That's 1 month though. So
No. That's in the 3 years that they've been in power.
Mm-hmm.
Are we talking about Congress or are we talking about Trump's presidency?
I'm talking about, first of all,
okay.
The president only signs bills. They have to get through Congress first, right?
Yeah.
So the president is the last step. Since the Republicans have been in charge of the House specifically, but the House, and it was a tiebreaker in the Senate, which is why Harris needed to get rid of the filibuster so they could do it, and it could be another tiebreaker with her or whatever, instead of having the filibuster, which made it 60, right?
Yeah, for
but
sure.
Since the Republicans have been in charge, they have passed a record low amount of legislation in the history of Congress. A
Hey,
record low.
Let me read this off. W's in the chat for Ryan, who sent a $2 super chat over on YouTube, said, "Is this take your son to his first debate night?" It absolutely is. They have it has been unhinged all night. Massive W's in the chat for Ryan for that super chat.
As I said, I'm not super educated, so I don't come here and just try to spit nonsense. But I'm sorry about the rest of them.
No,
But to that point though, Brody, and I appreciate you saying that. And my partner jumps on me all the time because see, I'm old. Santana, don't say nothing. And I have this bad habit of focusing on someone's age when they don't know something, which isn't 100% fair. So I take that when I get chastised for that, right? But the issue is you admittedly are young, you haven't finished high school yet or whatever. There's an awful lot of information that goes behind these things that you're talking about. And without having any purview of that information, you're speaking from a point of ignorance. And I hope you understand how I mean that, right?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Because every pregnancy is dangerous. Absolutely every one, right? And there are a multitude of different issues that could happen during the course of that or whatever. And some of them may lead to the AB, some of them may not, right? But unless we know all of those things, and I'm putting you in the same category as the people in these legislatures that are passing these bills, they're not getting medical information to make a good decision on why this should be this based on medicine. They're just doing it based on their personal beliefs like you are, or their religious beliefs or whatever. Those things don't matter, right? And it is healthcare because now people that wouldn't have considered an AB, but they're having complications in their pregnancy because the hospitals and the doctors are afraid to do anything because AB is against the law in those states or whatever. The women aren't getting the health care that they need. And so now women are unaliving as well. The whole thing is ludicrous.
Yep.
Do you believe in
hold on for a second. David, are you a Trump supporter? David, are you a Trump supporter?
I didn't mean to come in. It was an accident.
No worries. I'm gonna go ahead and drop you down. Corey, you're back, right?
Yeah, I'm back. I had the red bar, so I dropped to see if that would make them go away. It did.
Oh, okay, real quick. Guys, if you are in the request and you are not a Trump supporter, please go ahead and drop out. We are only talking to Trump supporters. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter. So if you are a Trump supporter, please drop out. W's in the chat for Living. Living sent a $5 donation. Living, thank you so much for that $5. You're amazing. W's in the chat for Haley. Haley sent a $1 donation saying, "National AB ban stops the unaliving of the unborn. Let's take a step back. Let's take it a step back further. National vasectomies required." I am W's in the chat for that. I can get with that. Yep, I can get with that. W's in the chat. W's in the chat for Lindsay for the $25 donation saying, "Brody, tell me that you're." This is Lindsay's words, not mine. Brody, tell me you're an arrogant misogynist without telling me you're an arrogant misogynist. It's giving white religious lunacy energy. W's in the chat for Lindsay for that $25 donation. And also W's in the chat for Ty. Ty sent a $5 donation saying, "It's been a while. Can we see that beautiful dome?" Listen, Ty, I actually shaved my head today, so I'm ready for it.
Uh-oh.
Goddamn.
W's in the chat for Ty. Guys, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. If you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. Also, you can send a super chat through YouTube to actually donate. And yes, no, Ty has identified that I am not above doing something strange for a little piece of change. Corey, I want you to be able to finish up this conversation with Brody.
Yeah. So Hawk is 100% correct. The problem with the 3 exceptions or whatever that you guys, half of you have and the other half don't, is that you can't legislate every situation. There's no way to proactively you can't. There's so many.
It's a case-to-case thing. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, hold on, Brody. Let her finish her sentence.
My bad.
So with that, when you have these broad exceptions, they mean nothing when it actually comes down to there's a medical emergency, because these doctors don't know when it's actually safe to step in, and they are risking their licenses by stepping in, because all it would take is one Republican to say, oh no, they should have tried this, they should have tried that, even though those things, most of the time, interventions when you are too late in a lot of these situations, like ectopic pregnancies, for example, the longer you wait, the higher that risk goes up. And if they're waiting until there's no options left, then by the time there's no options left, there's nothing really that
Can you
can
give me
be
an
done.
example?
Like, no, there's that. I'm not gonna educate you. You are capable of doing that.
Okay. Okay, so no example. All
I'm
right, cool.
telling you that you can't legislate for every
Well,
single
it's a
situation. There
personal
are
belief
plenty.
for me, as I said, so I'm not going to say it's based on a ton of research or information.
Sure,
It's just
that's
a belief I
fine. So
have.
don't have
It's
one.
yeah, it's something
So
to do with
don't have
religious
one.
reasons as well, family belief.
That's
But
So that's
fantastic.
about the feelings in your tum tum.
and
So,
I'm gonna admit that it is more about the feelings of my tum tum, and I'll
but the
happily say
feelings
that.
in your tum
So,
tum shouldn't come over.
I mean,
Shouldn't
it
be
does
more
involve the
important than
murder
the
of babies,
actual.
so I mean, it
But
does have.
It's not.
talking.
Yeah.
It is.
Wait,
I'm talking.
Brody. Wait, Brody. Let Corey finish. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah, let Corey finish.
Your fifis are not more important than actual lives of women.
If
Actual
the life is not
living
at risk, then it doesn't matter.
Brody,
My
you are
bad.
not helping the
I'm not talking.
misogynistic point.
No. Let me mute.
Your feelings are not more important than the actual lives of women. But that doesn't, then don't have one. And congratulations for you. That's not something you ever have to be worried about. You don't have those parts. You don't have to worry about it. So why are you even up here telling me that because of your personal beliefs that other women that women should unalive because it makes you feel bad that a clump of cells may unalive her, so she's getting rid of it. And even if it's not that, even if it's just that she doesn't want to provide her resources to another living being, I am not responsible for your life. If you were to tell me that you needed a kidney and I was a match, I don't have to. I have no obligation to save your life, right? Then what obligation do I have to none, zero, nothing. So
I have a question.
it's
This is
not.
kind of unrelated topic, but do you think people?
Yeah, I'm not
Wait.
interested in
Wait.
She keeps pausing her sentences, man. She can't keep
But
like
but
stopping
wait,
and
no.
going.
If you're gonna come off mute, at least at the very minimum, address what she's saying.
Please.
Like you're gonna come
I
off
was
mute and
gonna
say, "Well, this is a
report my bad.
completely
My bad.
different topic." Like what?
No. I was gonna make a correlation between something. I was gonna ask her a question. It's fine. Never mind. Corey, I mean, you were with me until you literally said just because if they don't want to, they can do it. Like you had me going there with you for a second there. But I mean,
the reason I say that is because it's none of your business why.
I mean, but if you can, if it doesn't affect you, like it doesn't affect your health. Like I'd say,
Corey,
there's not a big risk.
You're breaking up now. You're breaking up, Brody.
Like my voice is cutting off.
No, I think it's you, Hawk.
It was. You're good now.
Okay,
maybe.
Yeah, Hawk, you gotta delay again.
But what I was saying was that I think if you're capable of having the baby, you should have it. Like you shouldn't just be able to AB it because you don't feel like having it.
Wait, Brody, are you saying
Dude,
that's what
you-
Brody
that's what
is
you
that
just described.
Brody? Are you saying that's what you think?
No, but that's what she literally just described. Was that if a woman just feels like they don't want to have it, they don't have to.
Correct.
I don't believe that. How is that?
Brody, here's the part. May I? And Corey, may I? I need to throw this one part in. This is what I need you to try to look at, Brody, because you seem like a relatively intelligent young man. You just don't know what you don't know, right? I think that's a big part of this issue. The difference between your side and our side, we're not trying to make you do or not do anything. You're trying to make someone else do what you believe in. And we don't all believe in the same thing. You have every right to believe the way that you do. And for you and your future bride, if you ever have one, that's a decision y'all can make and you can do whatever you want to do. But what you're
100%.
trying to do, what your side is trying to do, is make the other side do the same thing that you do. And we don't think like you do.
Definitely. W's in the chat for Ty. Ty sent a $1 donation saying, "Hey Brody, why are you in grown people's business?" W's in the chat for Ty. W's in the chat for Valerie. W's in the chat for Valerie. Valerie sent a $1 donation saying, "Does the victim have to prove great through court?" Right. W's in the chat for Valerie for that $1 donation. W's in the chat for Haley. Haley sent a $1 donation saying Brody doesn't realize that his stance causes an increase in maternal and infancy mortality rates, which have been seen. We absolutely we know this, Haley, but Brody doesn't because it's about his feelings and his tum-tums. I don't get it. Let people do what they want to do with their bodies. Even again, on a religious standpoint, the Bible gives a prescription for AB. I don't understand it. They're not. Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on what religion you're practicing, right? If you're under the quote unquote law of the new. But again, even with that being said, even your Bible book, right? Even your Bible book talks about how to get them up out the paint, and it talks about what happens once you get them up out the paint. So, with that being said, you wanting to actually press your religious views on other people is insanity. I have never once, not ever, not once come on. I have never, not once come online and said what I personally believe about AB. Never, not once. Never, not once. You can listen to any time that I've actually spoken, and I've never said I do believe this or I don't believe that, because it's not up to me. It's simply not up to me. And I don't have a uterus, so it's not my decision. And again, someone said it earlier with the earlier donation, if you guys are so worried about, having ABs, then instead of actually managing women's bodies, let's just go ahead and snip, right? Vasectomies are reversible. They're way safer. Let's just go ahead and take care. And again, these women can't even get pregnant if you're not leaving all of your, splooge everywhere. So, why not address that? Also, guys, W's in the chat for Pressure Duck over on YouTube, who sent a $2 YouTube super chat to say, D's fighting for, Democrats. D's are fighting for choice. Republicans are trying to force. Absolutely. W's in the chat for Pressure Duck over on YouTube. And also Caleb, who sent a $1.99 super chat to say, says Hawk sounds like he should be a rapper. Great voice. W's in the chat for both of them for those donation, guys. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in Linktree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. If you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything's appreciated. And don't forget about Hawk and Corey, who's up here. Make sure we're gifting Corey, especially, because gender wage gap, right? Gender wage gap. Can we go ahead and take care of her coins? But also don't forget that Hawk's pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Corey, you got anything else for Brody?
No, I think that he knows. They know that it's what it comes down to, and it comes down to control. You want to be able to decide what happens to someone else's body, and it's gross.
Now you're just pushing a narrative, man.
No, dude, you do.
It has nothing to do with narrative. It has to do with.
I think that would lead to that. Or
you saying personally you believe in a nationwide AB ban. That's you wanting to control other people's bodies. If you didn't, then you would say
I believe AB is murder.
Then
that's your belief.
Don't
you
have
don't
one.
got to push your belief on it. Go ahead, Corey, I'm sorry.
I believe that I should be able to catch them all, right? I believe that I want to be the very best, like no one ever was, right? So does that mean that everyone else has to catch them all?
I mean, murder's murder.
But so if I believe in Pokemon, do you have to believe in Pokemon?
No.
Exactly. Like what?
So if I believe that, let's give a better example of that. Let's say I believe that if you kill somebody that's like unalive, let's say unalive, an 80-year-old that has, what's it called? What am I thinking of? You know the thing where like they're basically a vegetable. Know what I'm talking about?
You're talking about, but then that even goes back to your point as far as like when you talk about a kid, like the actual point of viability and to the point of being able to have functioning brain waves is what 21 to 24 weeks or something like that. So even by that standard, like it's a clump of cells up until that point before it has any type of brain wave. So again, it doesn't even make sense.
But even to your point, though, Brody, hold on. Even to your point, Corey already told you this. This old person that you're talking about isn't attached to me. It's not living off of my body. It's living off of a machine, right?
But
that's not the same thing. That's not the same thing. That's a false equivalency, sir. I'm sorry.
Self-sustainable after 24 weeks, did he not? So
but you're missing the point. You're missing the point. You try to make a correlation between euthanasia of some old person and a woman being pregnant, and they are completely different.
How? Explain that.
Because that old person that you're talking about that you want to make the call on or whatever is not draining resources from someone's body.
After 24 weeks, they don't need to, though.
Yes,
you're missing.
I mean, they can possibly live outside of the womb, but up until that point, yes, and even after then, they're still leaving. You're saying they don't have to, but they are. That's insane.
Nobody.
And the other thing is I'm sorry. Go ahead, Corey.
Nobody past 20 weeks wants to have an AB. Like, there's nobody that is at that point in
No, that's not.
that is ending that.
Well, hold on. Corey, he's right. Technically, we can't say no one, but the majority of people. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Correct. But when you're at that point of pregnancy, you've planned. You've built nurseries. You've chosen names. You've had parties. You've had. There's
majority of people, not everybody.
A lot. Okay. There's a.
She's speaking in general, Brody. She's speaking in general.
Okay.
I've never had a baby, so I can't really testify on that. But
exactly. But
you're
sitting
bro.
here doing it. That's the whole point.
And aside from that, the term
we've already
vegetable,
established I'm not the most
that out of
educated
your vocabulary. That's ableist and it's gross, and I don't like it. I think you are speaking on some. You have no idea what you're talking about. Like, absolutely none. Because you clearly don't even know what the protections of Roe v. Wade were, because after 20 weeks, it was up to the states.
Wait, I think, was it 20 weeks or was it 24? I think
it may be 24.
It was 22 or 24.
Yeah,
it may be 24. Regardless, it protected past that point. Once sentience is established, it's up to the states, and most states don't allow ABs past that point unless it's for
medical reasons. Yeah,
absolutely.
It has nothing to do with you. It's none of your business, and that's the base of my argument is it's none of your fucking business.
Exactly.
I don't know why you care what happens.
Exactly. Hold on. W's in the chat for Ty, who sent a $1 donation saying getting fetus up out the paint is wild. Listen, sometimes you got to get them up out the paint. W's in the chat for Lindsay. Lindsay sent a $25 donation saying, why are conservatives all about the fetus, but pew down all the policies that help mothers and children after they give birth? Lindsay, that's easy. They're not pro-life, they're pro-birth. That's why, Lindsay. They're not pro-life, they're pro-birth. W's in the chat for Christina, who... That is a wild statement to agree with.
No, I'm saying I agree that Republicans are pro-birth. I'm not saying I'm pro-birth.
W's in the chat for Christina. Christina sent a $2 donation saying, it makes me sad that some Christians really believe that AB is a religious argument. It's simply sad fact that their church leaders have brainwashed them so they will vote Republican. Separation of church and state. Much love to Corey. W's in the chat for Christina for that $2 donation. W's in the chat for Haley, who sent a $1 donation saying, so can Brody just confidently say he's okay with more women and infants unaliving as long as he gets to force his beliefs on other? I mean, that's a byproduct. So, whether he's okay with it or not, it's something that happens. W's in the chat for Sean, who sent $1 donation, says, does Brody know that that taking away AB is also hurting women's health? Like doctors won't look for a cure for endometriosis, for example. I think that's how you say it. Endometriosis. Yes. Endometriosis. W's in the chat for Sean for that $1 donation. W's in the chat for Darius for the $5 donation, saying, tell Brody that people like him would be better off in a life if he/them would. Oh, wait. Tell Brody that people like him would be better off in life if he/them would mind their own business. What a woman does with her body is not his or anyone else's business. Absolutely, absolutely, guys. W's in the chat for everyone that sent those donations over, guys. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24, best way to support the live. If you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. Corey, do you have anything else for Brody?
No, I'm.
She's just gonna make the same point she made.
Well, Brody. Again, you have done nothing to help that misogynist viewpoint that you've given all night.
So then I'm not gonna be rude, but you literally just went on like a 5-minute rant and reading off.
Exactly. And you didn't say not one thing, but as soon as Corey started talking, you immediately, that's the whole point. You keep running right into the wall, Brody.
I was waiting for you to finish.
But then
wait for Corey to wanted to say after you just attacked
gonna
me.
continue making the same point because the bottom line is that it's none of your fucking business. I don't know how many times that you need to hear it.
Keep repeating that to yourself. No one cares. Yes, it is.
No, everybody
It's
here is
not.
Brody except for you.
Bro, there's a reason Trump wants.
Trump
now
wants
you're
because of
slipping, Brody.
uneducated fucks like you.
Wait,
that
hold on,
spew
hold on.
bullshit
You
and
need to
don't
start
actually
educating
know
people, but
anything
insulting
about what
them.
you're talking
But Brody, so this is the thing, right? I genuinely, when I say this, I mean this. I have no choice when it comes to a woman's body. Not even the slightest bit, right? I've had this conversation even with my wife, right? I don't get to tell her what she gets to do with her body, even if we have a child together. But with that being said, I do have a choice as far as what I do with my platform and how we continue. And what happens is when I decide to actually abort someone from my actual live, then that's what I do. That's a late term AB. We waited too long to get him up out the paint, and that's what happens.
You actually made him. Well, that last little crash out made him show where he was really coming from.
I heard it. Yeah. Corey made him crash out. Like the male ego is the most fragile thing on earth. Corey, anything else from you?
No, I hate most men.
Corey, I hate it here, Grandpa.
And the rest of us, Corey, understand.
Thanks for having me up. They're exhausting. They just want to talk.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that I also have a habit of I do ramble, but they frustrate me. And I like to think through the words that I say before I say them.
Yeah, no, you're awesome, Corey. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. No, I'm gonna drop you down. Let's see. We got a couple more people in the box, but I know you're not. Let's try this last person here. I don't think this person is necessarily a Trump supporter. W's in the chat for Ty. It's a different Ty, TYE. Ty sent a $2 donation. Thank you so much for that $2 donation, Ty. You're absolutely amazing. W's in the chat for Kiana. Kiana, you are freaking awesome. Kiana sent a $25 donation saying, keep up the good work. Kiana, thank you so freaking much. You are absolutely, absolutely amazing. Thank you for that donation. Nikki, are you a Trump supporter? Nikki Nella? Nikki Nella. Nikki. I don't think Nikki knows that she's up here. Hey guys, let's do this real quick. So Nikki's up here and she has no idea that she's up here. Let's send Nikki some gifts, right? Can we just gift Nikki for a few minutes? Let's just gift Nikki, and then that way when the live ends, like she'll actually look at her TikTok and she'll have like coins. She'll be like absolutely surprised. She'll be like, where did I get these coins from? Can we send Nikki like just a couple of gifts? Let's send Nikki just a few gifts. Like, can we let's show Nikki some love because she has no idea that she's up here right now. That'll be really cool, right? And then Nikki, once we end the live, Nikki's going like, where did I get these coins from? Nikki gonna be rolling in TikTok coins. W's in the chat for Nikki. W's in the chat for Nikki. All right, Hawk, I think I'm gonna call it. I'm tired, boss.
I was about to tell you, it's close to t-shirt time anyway.
It's been t-shirt time for like 40 minutes. They have worn on me today, Hawk. I don't know if you've been watching from the beginning, but it's been nuts.
I will, if they ever came with actual information so we could have a real conversation / debate, but a debate don't work if the other side don't know what the topic is. So I don't know what the hell their problem is.
No, and I've just been crashing all night. I'm gonna clip the shit out of John though. I mean, wasn't it Rob? Boy, I can't wait to clip Rob. Boy, Rob was something else. I cannot wait to clip Rob.
Rob was entertaining Rob. That's all that was.
Holy smokes. Yeah. All right, Hawk. We're gonna get out of here.
All right, sir.
All right, I appreciate you. And we'll do it again tomorrow. All right. We'll do it again tomorrow.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Thank you all.
Later, sir.
Nikki, I'm gonna drop you down too, Nikki. Nikki, I'm gonna drop you as well, Nikki. Guys, it was a crazy night. If you weren't here from the beginning, like, you have no idea what you missed. It was an absolute insane night. Absolutely insane night. Guys, let's go rate my sister Jessica Simone. Can someone pin Jessica's handle on the screen? Mods, please. Can we pin Jessica's? Thank you, Mary Bell. Can someone pin Jessica Simone's handle on the screen? We're going to go raid Jessica Simone. I might go hang out in Jessica's live. I don't know if there's any debates over there, but I'm going to go hang out, and you should go hang out. And what's that? Mom Mart, thank you so much for the sub. Guys, there it is. Jessica Simone. Let's go raid Jessica Simone. We're going to go raid Jessica Simone. We're going to go over and raid Jessica Simone, guys. We'll be back again tomorrow for another Sparring with Santana. We will be back tomorrow. We're going to get back into it. I love you guys so much. Let's do the outro. Actually, matter of fact, real quick, anybody want to come up and do the outro with me? Hurry. First person up gets to do the outro with me. First request in the box gets to do the outro with me. Who's going to get up here first? Looks like no one. No one requested to do the outro. I guess I'll do the outro by myself then. Okay, cool. Oh, I got one. We got one. I don't know who. Someone just let this other person in.
I won't leave you hanging.
Jen?
I won't leave you hanging.
No, you're good, Jen. Also, no, come back here. You get back up here. Why does she run? Get back up here. You absolutely get back up here. Why did she run? Whatever. Anyway, Jen, you do the outro with me. All right, guys. You ready, Jen?
Yep.
All right.
Twice emotional stability, a sound body entering.
Guys, thank you all for hanging out. Thank you for all the likes, the taps, the loves, the shares, guys. We will be back tomorrow. And hopefully, Jen, by the time we get back tomorrow, MAGA has learned a couple of lessons and they have a little more home training and some common sense or something. Right, Jen?
Very true.
Yeah. Guys, thank you for hanging out. We're going to go raid Jessica Simone. I will see you over there. Don't meet me there. Beat me there. I love you all. And Jen, as always,